What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Hello. Good afternoon. This is the SteelSeries Go for Glory Cup by Valorant PH, and I am Daks.
My name is Vyminal.
And we are going to be getting into some playoff action coming into this one. It's the top four here, Vim. So we got our four best teams coming into the bracket and really showing an up here and now. For our first semifinal, please do the honors. Who's going to be playing here?
So it's going to be Adroit versus Retaliate. So these two teams are going to be, this is going to be a really explosive matchup. And I think this is going to be, a masterclass of Valorant, especially to those viewers who are pretty new to the game. Get out your notepad, because you prepare to take down some notes, because these guys are the real deal. These guys are pros.
Exactly. This is a really big learning experience for many of you viewerships there. But, it is really for that 45k prize pool on the line for our top four. Adroit Esports beating out the Nasty Alpha Gaming in the quarterfinals, showing their stuff, showing their power. In the meantime, though, Retaliate having the tough road, beating out MOTV instead. And don't forget, guys, we also have another semifinal waiting for you as well. It's Nickwits as well as Samurais facing off later on into the afternoon. And after everything, of course, we will be getting into the grand final. So 3 amazing matches. It's a best of 3 coming into that one. And there you go with our map pool. Ascent, then Bind, then Haven, picked up by our team. So what do you think about these picks here, Vim?
Yeah. Ascent, it's kind of been pretty much a top tier pick. It's great to do basically a skill check for your opponent. So in tournament matchups such as this, it's not very uncommon to see Ascent picked out on the first map for the best of 3 series. And that's pretty much for good reason. And then, the next map is Bind. By the way, there's some pretty good looking map concept arts.
Oh my god, it's snazzy. I love it. The prod is so real.
So Retaliate, this is again, it really depends whether or not they're starting defense or offense. Bind, I feel, is one of those maps that really benefits from having a double operator set up on the CT side. And then for the final pick, Haven. Pretty much similar to Ascent, which can go either way, a very balanced map. So yeah, pretty exciting.
Yeah, really, really good to note. But you know what else exciting? We still have our giveaways up for grabs, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget about that one. The SteelSeries Rival 3 mouse that I'm casually repping on the hand over here. It feels so. What's the fancy word? Ergonomic. It feels very easy to use, and it feels like, if you still suck, you'll still suck, but if you're gonna get good, and you are gonna be even better with a mouse like this. And here for Vim, what are you repping there onto the headset side, Mr. Vyminal?
I am rocking the Arctis One wireless, and let me tell you, it sounds amazing, it feels comfortable. And if I move around, you might be able to see my boxer shorts underneath the half body suit here.
You're exposing the caster.
Yeah, casting from home. That's how it works.
Work from home right there, guys. But yeah, the Arctis One is something that all our champions will be getting. 5 of them gonna be up for grabs alongside the 10,000 peso cash money right there. 5k gonna be going over to that run up, and I'm a little jealous of your Arctis One. Maybe I'll get one later. I'll just pick it up out of nowhere. Go for an order right there, and poof, there we go with an Arctis One as well. How's it feel in your ears? I'm always looking for headsets that are really soft in those ears, mates.
It's very, the cushions are very firm. However, it's the head clamp is not too tight on your head, so it's very comfortable for those long, hours of grinding. So it's perfect.
Sir. What else is going to be grinding our gears here, Pim? We are going to be getting into the game, and here we are on Ascent, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for a Valorant PH filled afternoon, and we are going to be getting it on and getting it done. Seems like it's Adroit Esports on the attack and Retaliate on the defense. And here you go, do the honors, get their intros on.
Yes, so we have AKG Worship on Raze, Ripper on Cypher, Godors on Omen, Eden on Sage, and Beats on Reyna. Very interesting pick, that Reyna. And we got Humi on Sova, Jakama on Cypher, Jesse Vash on Sage, Borkum on Omen, and Dispenser on the Phoenix. So I'm pretty interested to see how this will play out. High tier Reyna gameplay, not very common, but things are going down right now.
Oh my god, how did that even happen? I literally looked away for half a second and I see Adroit die in a quad feed right there. They line up in the middle onto the top part of the platform, and goodbye to them already. Good riddance. Borkum now 1v5 infiltrating behind enemy lines.
So he could get a few picks here and there, but pretty much this pistol round is over. What we saw happen there was that two of Retaliate members pushed out on from basically a cubby, and that's a very, very uncommon strategy. I'm pretty sure Adroit did not expect that, as you know, neither did we.
Yeah, big surprise. No, big surprise right there. And this is what we were talking about yesterday in Adroit versus Tenacity Alpha Gaming, Bim. When you're playing against Adroit, if you play standard, you might most likely lose because they are just so good at doing everything by the book. But when you do something so out of place just like that, that is what you can get a surprise win against Adroit. But we have seen it before from Adroit. You do it once, it might work. You do it twice, no, they have adapted. So this is the first round for the defense. Adroit though going on the attack, and interesting enough, they're going for the force buys with a Spectre in hand here for Humi.
Yeah, and it seems like they're pretty much heavy stacking mid. You know, Ascent is one of those maps that you really want to maintain mid control, but at the same time not leaving sight empty-handed. So, you know, fast rotations is key, using that info from the Cypher as well. Droid might be going for an 8 take right here. Might I mention, Daks, that these two teams know each other very well. They have faced off against each other in the past and played with each other in competitive matchmaking as well.
Yeah, I completely remember that fact, Bim. And I'd love to hear more about that later on, but it seems like an 8 take happening already. Onto the high ground, Eden going down. Dispenser gets that kill. Adroit going for the fast execute, but Gadores gets 2 before he gets taken care of by the Sova instead. Twin Intel gameplay gonna be here for Adroit, but they don't need no intel if they know their opponent is on the high ground there. Worship right now, try to bust through the door. Beats gets a kill on the Humi there, and here comes Worship rolling against Shikama, gets the takedown. 3 versus 1. Borkum though with the stinger, designing on the inside, gets caught out by Beats, and what a round for Retaliate. They will win this one out as well.
Yeah, and you know, securing that Phantom Worship, really good presence of mind. Again, really risky to go rifle pretty much on the second round, but I guess they did anticipate that Adroit will go for a force buy. So really good call from Gadores right there.
Oh, and really is just that cool familiarity with one another. As Gadores has 5 on the board. Looking at this roster, you got members of so many different communities coming together as one. And you know, you got Worship from Anet Knights Gaming from before, and we got Beats. I like those are such strong players, you know, and they are familiar with Adroit's playstyle so far.
Yeah, and that's why, you know, this is really going to be a spicy matchup. We're going to see how teams pretty much adapt to each other as Beats takes down Borkum with that Marshall.
Ooh, slow start here for Adroit so far. And we've seen this before, Vim, especially if it's a best of 3. They kind of take a little bit to get their bearings on. And this is going to be Retaliate holding into the middle for the battle here for so far. Ripper, though, coming in from the Cubby, gets rid of that one there as well. And well, it seems like it's going to be enough there by Cubby. I mean, B main, my bad there. But Beats catching out Trash. Hero Dispenser, though, getting a tap onto the Reyna. Can the Phoenix survive, though? He's hiding on the side, gets caught out by Worship. And 3-0, this is not what we expect on an Adroit game.
Absolutely not. Might I add as well that economy-wise, Retaliate is looking pretty damn good because they did not fully upgrade in the previous round, but Beats, you know, opting to go for that operator. So this could be, you know, some sort of momentum sustain that we might see here. Although Adroit just see Vash with an operator himself, and you know, we all know how that goes down. So let's see these two pretty much duel it out.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty good fights. I completely agree. And Ascent really is that map where if you have a great operator, you can even get better. I, for one, do like to see the double operator here a lot. You have so much control of middle itself. Borkum, though, on the west side right now on the middle. It seems like they're winning against out a slower pace map right now because a while ago, Adroit was trying to play it fast and furious, and Retaliate was just answering back every single time, Vim.
Right. Absolutely. And we might see a sort of exchange here happening between Spencer and Gadores, but Gadores gets that flick. Oh, really quick.
Gadors is looking so good right now. He is just performing to the nth degree here. And from the second round onwards, he's been doing all he can and more. That Phantom by really stopping Adroit in his tracks. And the Spencer getting caught out in the open as that is going to be the Omen looking around there. But Adroit playing it slow and steady. Market defense here for the Rays. But it seems like we will finally get Borkum on the board against Eden. Worship though catching out fast in response. Winning out the range tool there. But Chikama in the middle there instead. And Spike planted on A side. Rotation in order here for Retaliate.
And, Jesse Bash losing that operator, it's a pretty big deal. But again, A, it was pretty tough to retake, especially if you're going to be all coming from heaven. Gadors might have to go short here.
Oh my god, what a headshot from Ripper Borkum going down. It seems like it was the Empress getting the bait on, but Beats catching out Humi there instead. 1 versus 1 right now, and is this gonna be a pros don't fake moment? It's halfway through, gets the ding on, and Darkness coming into light. Beats getting the beat down yet again. 4-0 Retaliate is just answering in the first salvo here.
4-0, this is unprecedented, I believe. This is something that I certainly did not expect coming into this matchup. Beats and Gadors just really stepping it up. Let's not forget that Ripper on that nasty quick scope, just absolutely stealing the deal for that round. Empress coming in clutch. That's the thing with Reyna. If you have a really capable player, it can really frag out and even clutch it out using that Empress. And I really believe that Reyna is underserved in the current meta.
Yeah, it's a really feast or famine kind of agent, and when you get the feast on, it feels like it's an all-you-can-eat buffet. Maybe a little bit Vikings right there, but that's the pinch just on the inside. Spencer, though, gonna run through the one-ways and will be going for Ripper there instead. Still, all those things giving the intel on here for the side of Retaliate so far, and Adroit setting up on the side here, Vim.
And, basically health point advantage is pretty much on the side of... never mind.
Yeah, oh my god. Operator singing here for Beats. He gets 2, but it's now 1 versus 3. Good post-plant positions here so far from Team Adroit. Is staying on the site, staying away from the sniper here. And Beats, it's either he goes for the suicide run or he will be able to just go to save instead. There we go though with the shot. Oh, he moves a little bit there. It's like when you're trying to balance on a board, Bim, and then you trip over, hits the board on your head. That's kind of what happened there to Beats. Finally, Adroit getting 1 point on the board.
Finally, a much-needed point for Adroit, and this could be sort of the turning point of the match wherein Adroit finally gets a read on the enemy. And we talked about this in the past, that basically Adroit is really adept at reading the opponent and adapting to their play style. So we'll see how Retaliate counteracts this strategy.
Ooh, the retaliation perhaps as per usual from Team Retaliate, but Beats already started things off strong, and oh my, that's the wall on up to get the cubby pick there. Adroit really liking that tactic there, Vim, getting the high ground vision, getting that takedown. Vash though with the res, Dispenser brought back into life, and Adroit right now moving into the middle, onto the courtyard we go again.
Go again, that Sage Worship.
Oh, even better, that quick little satchel pack to get the boost on. Humi, though, catching out Worship in response, but a really good tech play there from the Rays. Adroit right now gonna be going for 3 versus 3. Good res earlier on from Vash, keeping the numbers in check. But with Beats with the operator here, Vim, he sees Vash, gets a takedown onto the side of the Sage. Here we go again. Look for another one. That's Beats getting the beat down one more time, Vim.
Absolutely incredible performance from Beats. Now, give me a second.
Oh my god.
Something came at the door.
Okay, so Adroit though. Let me take it from here. Adroit's gonna be going for the 1v3 Borkum. Having the op in hand, it's gonna be the spike in his clutches as well. Looking around for that target, might see the Sage here, but it seems like he is gonna be protected by the wall there. Time ticking on down, ladies and gentlemen. And Adroit looking to set up on the sides of A, but this is looking really dicey for Adroit so far. They are in a numbers disadvantage yet again, and Retaliate has just gotten the answer every single time. Will Borkum go for the save here? It seems like he's not bothering to get the spike down, and will he be able to get a pick off onto anyone? Not gonna happen, but this is a pretty safe spot for Borkum. Can he get the Sage though? Yes, he does! Goodbye to Eden at the end. But Retaliate up by 4.
Yeah, absolutely amazing performance so far. And that was a really good save tactic from Borkham. You know, most players during that save would probably plant the spike. You know, your team would say, just plant the spike, let's get the 300 creds. Or however, how much bonus it gives. But, you know, that was really good save tactic. And you should really, you know, keep that in mind. If you're trying to save that operator, it would really turn the tide, especially on offense in Ascent as well.
Yes, sir. Indubitably. But Beat's gonna get tagged there immediately. Has to retreat, has to get the hell out of there. And Adroit again with middle control so far. Jakama now catching out Eden there. It seems like the Cypher is actually looking to see if Retaliate will push forward here from a side, and he gets the punish onto 1. Really good lurk here from Jakama so far.
Getting that first pick on attack is just absolutely huge. And you got to capitalize off that momentum, but not immediately. You got to wait for the opponent to reposition and decide whether or not you commit to A or B.
You know, what is going to be commitment? Dispenser getting the knife on. That is just really ballsy here from Dispenser every single time. The Phoenix right now pushing forward. Has to pay attention though because there's a raise on the wide side. The hot hat is there. And there we go with the tap. Dispenser with the read. Gedowers though with a counter kill. And what a show here from Adroit so far. But Gedowers is a man on a mission. He gets 3. Ripper from the high ground. And as soon as Adroit gets a little bit of a glimmer of hope, Gedowers is there to stomp it out like a monster to flame.
It's incredible how fast they trade frag and how fast they reposition here. But again, 1v2 situation.
Oh no, but Jesse Vash making it happen. He leans up the Omen, sees the Cypher though, but no, it's not gonna happen. And Ripper, oh Ripper, this guy is just ripping apart the offense here. It's been a struggle and a half here for the side of Team Adroit. Retaliate having every single answer. And before I toss it over to Vim asking what is actually Retaliate doing, just want to mention real quick, guys, we are streaming on 2 things this time. We are on Facebook at fb.gg/ValorantPH.gg, and if you're looking for a Twitch experience, go on over to twitch.tv/DaksPH. We'll be pinning that one as well alongside the giveaway stuff. But, you know, back to my question there, Vim. What is Retaliate doing right now?
Retaliate is just basically doing pretty much non-standard stuff, going back to your point earlier. They keep Adroit guessing whether or not, where are they going to be double peeking? Where are they going to be trading from? It's pretty hard to predict.
And you know what is going to be predictable though? It is going to be Adroit pushing on to B side. Ripper catching out Humi again. And I love the setup there with the one-ways. He's always getting in the way in the first place. Vash though will clean up Ripper there. Here we go with the lead from Beats. And maybe it's also on the board. Beats though with the Emerson hand. Pirate is abound and uses his dismiss to dodge the headshot there. You don't see that too often. The Omen right now with 1 HP. Borkham though will get that kill. 1 versus 2 though. Can Borkham figure things out? Paranoia still going to be available? No, he will get blown up by Worship instead, and it wasn't Paranoia, it was the Shroud Step. Couldn't go anywhere but down to hell. And that is just 6 rounds advantage here for Retaliate.
This is incredible. Like, I'm struggling to understand how they can pinpoint where Adroit is pushing at the right time. They were ready for that B take. Adroit tried to go B take really fast, but they were like what, 2-3 people already on site. It's just incredible, and it's really easy to defend B if you have at least 2 people in back side and 1 sitting outside of the house. So that was a really strong position.
It's just absolutely amazing right there. But Humi right now gonna be scouting around with the Aldron so far. Gadowers though, this guy has been impressive to say the least. And he's done everything and he can and more to keep Retaliate at its top part here. Gadowers though and Eden gonna get on the board yet again. Clean as a whistle here from the side Retaliate.
Oh my god. What in the blue hell is going on? Although that was an econ round, mind you. And we are going to go see full buys for Adroit this time. And this is pretty much, do or die situation. They got to win this round if they want to get at least 4 rounds in the first half. You know, them losing this round is going to cause them to pretty much go on another broken buy, maybe. You know, things looking pretty
They're
bad.
They're gonna try, that's for sure. But Vash already catching out Worship there, and this is the power of the operator in the hands of the Sage. But Dispenser catching out Kadoras as well. Here we go now with the push on to Cubby's side, but even is paying attention, and Neural Theft tossed out by the side of Adroit instead. Intel wins wars. They're going into A site this time. They've been able to get a really good vantage points of A for quite a while here, Vim. With the Resurrection also on Dispenser, makes this 5v3, but we'll see right now how Retaliate will answer back.
Yeah, and both the resurrections popping off over there from both Sages, so it's going to be a 4v5 situation, still anybody's round.
No Dispenser, goodbye in the side, and Worship will catch him out there instead. Eden now pushing forward into the garden, sees Humi, but no, he will get the shot instead. The Sova cleaning up to there, beats though with another beatdown onto another player. And it really goes to show when you're on that Reyna and you are just hot as hell, you can really get the momentum on. But Simon's raining close right there, 1-for-1, and Barkham holds the line. Adroit is able to eke it out there, Vim, and at the very least, they're looking to survive.
Absolutely. Humi coming in really clutch over there with that cheeky off angle, playing off the information given by Dispenser. So even though Dispenser was in a pretty tight spot, very common pre-fire angle that would probably be naded out as we've seen just happen, you know, it's so much info that basically Garden can play off of, and Humi really capitalizing on that info pretty much sealed the deal for that round.
Yes, sir. You know what I've noticed though here from Adroit? They're trying to use their double intel to get, you know, the intel itself. But that is also a staging point for Retaliate to rotate that way. Eden catching out Dispenser there though. Getting that initial blow against the Phoenix is already going to hurt Adroit and their style because they love going for that 4-1 offense push.
Absolutely. And, you know, a map like Ascent, pretty much given the team comp of Adroit, they might have an easier time in the second half. So we'll see how that plays out in just a bit. However, 5v4 situation with Dispenser being knocked out, their main entry frag is no longer on the board. And this is going to be a tough round.
Yeah, incredibly. Usually you see Dispenser just wrecking house, going on the inside and going, hey, I'm going to kill you now. I'm going to kill you too. Finger guns and all, like, give him a little bit of a wink and a goodbye with the run 8 back. But Adroit right now, at least they have been consistent at getting courtyard control. But that's really just Retaliate letting them do so and just surprising them with kills like this. Gadors, Kele taking care of Borkham immediately and so aggressive on the defense right now. They are really cutting it close on those lines as Ripper and Vash get one apiece.
Yeah, that's the thing. The Omen doesn't really smoke out mid link or mid top. You know, not even no smokes going out pretty much on either side until the last second, and that allows them to get picks. Really interesting.
Incredible to say the least. But here comes Gadors now, going on back yet again. Vash now gonna be going on down there, and this is gonna be time now for Adroit to at least go for the spike plant. 1 versus 3. Can Humi figure it out? That's gonna be the question here. He's holding on to the generator side, waiting for someone to peek, but Gadors is there by the doorway, and ding dong, you are dead.
Absolutely. And Gadors, for those who are unfamiliar with this player, Gadors has been up and running for pretty much ever since competitive matchmaking launched. He's been one of the most strongest players in the leaderboards locally, as with the rest of Retaliate's team. So, you know, this is a pretty even matchup, and in terms of competitive rank. But again, this is the first time that Retaliate has coming together, and it seems that they've prepared for a matchup like this. You know, they knew this was going to go down, and they pretty much, I guess, studied their opponent really, really well.
Yeah. Is this gonna be a dream team kind of setup? And it's so impressive how Retaliate is up by 7 right now against a team like Adroit. Is it just the jitters? Is it just warm-up time here for Adroit? That's the question there. But Dispenser already cleaning up Ganors at the very first get-go. Humi gonna be pushing forward as well. Here go with a showstopper, and we'll see if he can be the star of the show. Worship slamming into the wall. Big mistake there from the side of Retaliate. Borkham though cleaning him up, but Ripper is there to get the trade frag on.
I hate to see that barrier orb coming up on him. It's so hard. Then exactly, you know, he gets Adroit Chesty Vash positioning right there as he breaks down the wall.
Beats though is looking for another push here. The Reyna is going for the hop skip headshot to get the picks off yet again. Trying to go for the headshots behind the Radiant, but that's going to be a crate right there that he can't help out in your skins. One more layer for good measure. We can both though helping them out, and here comes the wall bang immediately from one. But Humi is there to make sure, like, hey, pay attention to me because I am ready to go. At least Adroit getting a third of the score there as sides are going to get swapped. It's time now for Retaliate to answer back and go on the attack.
Yeah. So here we can see, how Adroit will definitely adapt. But again, very unpredictable. Now I'm really curious to see how Retaliate is going to pretty much carry out this attack phase. We've seen how they play on defense, which is very, very aggressive. But, they could play it the opposite on offense. Maybe they'll play really passive and play time, as much as they can. Because they do know that Adroit tends to have that aggressive defense as well.
I'm just impressed that we haven't really been able to make a bunch of jokes here and there, Vim, because this
There's
is a
so
game
much action.
that we didn't also expect a score like this. Retaliate, we always knew they were impressive, seeing their pedigree, seeing the players on their team, but doing this against Adroit, well, that is just one for the books already. And we said it before, we'll say it again. If you can do this against Adroit, you are a team to watch out for. It can't be a fluke, can't be just one single game. But Fast right now is waking on up and gets a tap onto Eden. Worship though in the meantime, gonna be praying to the Lord, and has Humi going on the board as well. Ripper though with the push already. They're going over to A side. Gadowers is just absolutely magnanimous every single time, Vim. And A is open for the taking here for the side of Retaliate.
Here we go. Smoke coming out, blocking line of sight from long as Beats takes down Chikama. And interestingly enough, Ghosts coming off the field here. Not a lot of my favorite right-click weapons.
Well, if you can only ADS right on the pistol there, but Beats doesn't care. He sees you immediately. Dispenser gonna be throwing it down, going down, and my oh my, this is just Retaliate with an amazing start to this one. If I remember correctly, Vim, this is Adroit's pick, right? But on the map, but they're just not doing well right now.
Absolutely. Again, as I mentioned earlier, this map, Ascent in the series, usually used for skill tests. Okay, so Adroit might be playing this rather chill. They're trying to psychoanalyze their opponent. They're very, very cerebral in that regard. But again, we're gonna see how this plays out for the rest of the match. But I just want to know what these guys had for breakfast, man.
Maybe a little bit of egg sandwich there because it seems like it's a scramble onto the brains of Vash immediately. Here we go with Team Retaliate closing the door on Adroit, not just once but twice with the wall, with the gate by the markets. And I just gotta say, Retaliate, it seems like these guys are prepared to fight against the big guns. They have added themselves up together, and Gadowers is really one for the books here. Quick little peek though from Dispenser, gonna boost himself onto the crate, but Worship will still get that takedown. And Adroit holding the line with Borkum, but that's not gonna be enough. 8 rounds advantage. Retaliate is the one putting Adroit down on the ground, and we can say positively that Adroit's like maybe giving this round, having this map to give to figure things out. But Retaliate is here to play slave, and 22 kills on Beats is just double Vashes right there and more.
I don't know. For lack of a better word in English, sabihin ko na lang, grabe talaga ang nangyayari ngayon. And we did not expect this at all. I'm pretty sure, none of you guys in chat right now have expected this to happen. And we are witnessing history here, folks, as Eden takes out Dispenser, early operator, doing the work.
Yes, sir. And it's just going to be a Garden of Eden there for the op. And feels like he is just the pioneer in so many ways. Worship, though, hopping on top of the railings right now. And he is just basically playing tech by the Tam Kench bench. But that is Gadowers again, cleaning up fast. This seems like the Omen has really felt all the momentum in the world and more for this map. A side right now going to be the target. They don't care about Chikama and his traps, but he is still going to be potent when he gets the lineup onto one. Looking for another one there, but it's Worship on the board again. And my oh my, this has been a score to remember for Retaliate.
Yep. And this has never happened in grassroots history. And it looks like it's going to be a 12-3. Again, 2v4 situation, very dicey for the defensive team. but full buys have gone out, and this is pretty much indicative. The next round will be a force buy for sure, and it's going to be a broken
My
buy for Adroit.
It feels completely broken right now. This is turned around, perhaps for Adroit, but it just doesn't happen. They are down by 2 members. The spike has been planted. Good locations here for Retaliate all throughout. By the ramps there, by the window, by the gardens, by the cubby. Everything under the sun, but Humi at least is going on up to get rid of Gador's Eden though. This guy has been planting the seeds of destruction for Adroit, and this feels like it's chum on the water. Adroit is getting fished out, and they are now gonna be down by 9 match points here for Retaliate.
Beats 22-7, more than double of Jesse Vash, top frag for Adroit. Again, he still has money for an operator. He's going glass cannon. I do believe he's not going for armor this round. This is their only hope, and they can only play to tie up for match point. Looking very dire for Mr. Jesse Vash and crew. But again, this is only game 1 of our best of 3 series.
Yes, sir. There is anything that can truly happen in a BO3, but it seems like Vim, it's when you see a shiny new toy into that pedestal. It's a completely new update, and Retaliate is looking to be the masters of the scene 2.0 perhaps, or is it perhaps too early to say? But a performance like this really goes to show that Retaliate, these guys are striking back against everyone who's been saying that Adroit is unstoppable, Adroit is unbeatable, because these guys have come together as one and are really bringing it against the best team in the PH. The question is though, how will they do it? Vash though, playing his wall game, and this is really where the minds are gonna be truly meeting here for Adroit.
That's a really good wall play. We've seen that before, but not used in sort of, this one-way capacity. It's actually very smart. Ripper, boom, he gets the 2K.
The lineup game from Adroit happens, and this is gonna be them back in the groove, but this is still rounds to give here for the side of Retaliate. You can really feel like it's fruits on a basket that Retaliate is willing to give out in an instance like that. But Adroit at least can have all of their guns ready to go. They can secure themselves. That money doesn't really matter per se, because if they lose a round, that's it. So they just keep on buying, they just keeping the best they can, and at the very least try to get to a positive KD for one of these players on Adroit's side.
At this point, all they have to do for Retaliate to win this match is manage ulti contact. If you get 5 ults on the board at once, it's GG. No matter what, right?
Stacking ults, similar to other games with abilities just like that, can be the name of the game, and they can really give up those rounds if need be, but Vash is not one to give up, and he is that kind of player. When the going gets tough, he says, ako na nga dyan, he will get all those kills for his team. Borkum though, also Mr. Consistent, and he's been an amazing controller here for Adroit so far.
Absolutely. This is Adroit, ladies and gentlemen. They do not back down. They do not give up. They will fight to the end, and they will give it their all to at least try for a match point. We could see a win streak here. We could end up having a close game. This is Valorant. It can really go either way. Momentum shifts happen time and again, and it really is too early to call unless Retaliate stacks their ultimates in one single round. We got 3 on the board so far. Yeah.
And here we go now. Transition over to the A site. At least Adroit is putting up the fights, and they are doing all they can and more to make sure that they can defend any single site. Now, this basically should dissuade Retaliate from going mid per se because of the amazing operator work from the stage. Bash, always impressive to say the least. Jakama right now gonna be looking to hold the angle here, and he goes for traps, goes for the tricks, and gets rid of beats there. 10 seconds left, but Eden getting on the board. Dispenser catching him out in response. Ripper though seeing the hopping and skipping Sage, and it's Ripper getting some economical damage on. 2 seconds left, cancels the spike plant, and says, okay, you guys can have this round, because I got some good kills, especially that sniper going down, but at least retrieval in order there for Humi.
Yeah, here we go. We see 4 ultimates online. There's only 1 ultimate orb left for Ripper.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they can get that orb right there for the side of Adroit if they decide to push into it. But on the other side, you know, Ripper, he's only 2 away. Ultimates are almost ready to go, and the attack usually has control of where orbs are placed. So if they take control of both, they'll have neural theft, but if the Cypher gets that kill, it works the same way. An A stack potentially in order here, Vim.
Yeah, ace stack potentially in order, indeed, as it is going to be pretty much a half buy for Retaliate.
The hunt begins.
We'll find out though if the Empress can actually get a new crowned queen here. As here comes the blast back thrown on that. Showstopper gonna be there as well. And Jakama, this guy is experienced against ultimates, that's for sure. He gets 3 on the board, online, and ready to go. Ripper hopping on top. And you know that ultimate advantage, Bim? It is gone. Kaput.
It's gone.
Erased from existence. Time is not on their side. And that is just really cool under pressure. And I really feel like they're just not respecting some of the history here from Adroit. You're throwing ultimates at the guy who has been accustomed to ultimates being thrown at him. And Jakama's like, I got this. I know how to deal with this. You know, I used to deal with 6. There's 3. No problem. No problem right there.
My question is why Beats coming up using that Empress on that round, per se. You know, they didn't have a full rifle, I believe. I could be mistaken, but I think I saw an SMG there. Perhaps using it in this round would have been a better play, or the next one.
Yeah. And Adroit is actually looking to make this a true contest here. And this is something we want to see from Adroit. If they were really slow at the start, which we've seen before, then at least they're ready for map 2.
Yeah, absolutely. As they're trying to go pretty much playing for picks here. I think Retaliate is looking to play it a bit slow. Their fast approach hasn't been working. And I believe Adroit has gone about 3 to 4 rounds consecutively. So this is nighttime for them to adapt.
And oh my god, Worship was about to apologize to Beats. You see the Rays coming closer to the Reyna. But then that seems to be operator shot there. Again, good slow orb though from Vast, but it doesn't help out Borkum. It seems like it's a discount and a half there by the market, since it will be Retaliate going on over and stealing some guns away. Retaliate, every single time they get countered, they strike back truly like an empire.
To have a resurrection for both stages, although Adroit using that, getting that off the board much faster. Comes back to life. It's now going to be in 1v4.
That's going to be into play though here for the side of the defense. No hat means no trouble. Jakama will get that kill, but Beats has got the 3 so far. Gets flagged from the side, and I wouldn't have been surprised if Beats got that momentum to get a potential ace. But really well played there from Adroit. Just not underestimating their opponents, and they will be giving the ultimate there to the side of the stage.
All right, so we have Resurrection for the side of Retaliate here. Now, this could be the round. I mean, it's going to be basically man advantage if they do get the initial pick.
That goes there.
They did do a better execution in the previous round, so they could have been getting a read as for the defense of Adroit. That was pretty much a pistol round with Beats getting a rifle off the bat.
I gotta say that the best thing they did in that round was smoke at Vash. If you don't let the Sage see you, then she doesn't really have a tool to destroy and displace. But in the meantime, it seems like it's more of a split kind of approach here from the side of Retaliate. Here we go though with the run back already from Dispenser. Classic stuff from him. Tracking dart in front and out in the open. What a ballsy play from this
pretty
man.
Scary. Yeah.
Oh my god, what a way to do things, you know. Dispenser, no fear even in the face of a match point. This guy knows no bounds, but for now, it's a slower pace attack here from Tier Retaliate. And do you think this will work out better for them, Vib?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're trying to identify, you know, where Jessie Vash is. You know, where is she going to peek from the operator point of view as Ripper takes down Dispenser. Really good. This is really good for Retaliate.
Yes, sir, and Vash gonna be now smoked out yet again. This is pretty much what Retaliate is all about. Worship also cleaning up Jakama, and this is now gonna be so many sides opened up here for the side of Team Retaliate. There we go though with the wall, and Vash cuts the attack into what a play. Who puts a barrier up in front of the opponent? Vash does, and he makes it count. But that Omen right now looking around by the spawn side might get surprised there. Gadores is a god and a half, and Humi gets the trade on back. Borkum though also on the board. Here we go with Eden right now. Operator in hand sees the Odin smokes here and there, gets the res on over, but Humi knows Whom he knows. He gets rid of 3 so far. Spike is dropped. And this has to be Beats getting the biggest clutch of his life, Vim.
Absolutely. 5 seconds left on the clock. No go. Borkum closes the round. 5 seconds left there. It was definitely not looking good for Beats. Resurrection pretty much going to waste there. The Empress is online. And suddenly, momentum is so much in favor of Adroit. Are we going to see the greatest comeback in Valorant PH history?
The thing, maybe Adroit wanting to give us our first overtime on stream. But, you know, Vim, you said it before yourself that Adroit is seeming to be more stable and more standardized on the defense. Seems like it truly is the case. And we'll see right now if the A-stack here perhaps will work out here for Retaliate, but we've seen it before. And Vash is seeing it again. Gadower's going down. He's a great rifle guy, but against an operator, it's just too far to handle, isn't it?
Yep. And, you know, it's been working out. Smoking out the Vash in mid. They should have been doing that from the get-go.
It's really a stick right there, but Ripper gonna get the tap on, and that's gonna be goodbye to one. This pistol round working really well here for the side of Retaliate. Instead, though, bringing in the hurt, and Vash right now coming in from the top side and cleans up the Cypher there yet again, even though as well as the Empress Pop Reyna gonna be holding the line. They at least tap down the recon dart. Here comes Dispenser, good headshot there, but Beats is looking for the momentum and looking to do all he can. Beautiful flash though, and Dispenser crawls on forward. Surprise, surprise. That's just gonna be another one here for Adroit for the time being.
I mean, sure, with the Empress online there, Beats pretty much was in a good spot. You know, playing that generator like that was pretty much the strongest spot you can be in a 1v2 situation if you're being pincered from heaven and, of course, long. But just Dispenser, you know, with that anticipation, using the flash at the right moment, really closing around. Really clutch play from Dispenser right there.
Yeah, Dispenser and his forward momentum pushes. You don't really know where he is until you see him, and usually when that happens, you are dead. On the attack, it's a little more obvious because they're coming from the attacking side. On the defense, it's where you don't go, that's where he will strike from. And as we saw before, doesn't matter if A main is where you came from, that's where he was there, Vim. But here we go again. Vash has been the sentinel truly of middle, and he only needs a pixel to get the takedown there. Oh.
Pixel peak, not quite doing what it was for, but we have a Sage boost. See if we can get a pick here. Again, Retaliate is in a tough spot. Oh, if only they had a Brimstone or something to really open up the sight, you know?
I mean, they do have that Omen, so they can go for a little bit of the setup, but I really get your points. They are going to have those duelists into play. The Cypher, not the best entry, that's for sure, but Vash right now going to be looking around, sees no one there. Smoke is into play. He jumps up on top, hears the footsteps, but can't really pinpoint exactly where they are. Here comes the beat stick. That's going to be a headshot there on the Ripper, but Borkum goes down. Hunter Fury going to be pretty lined up, and that's going to be the judge, the jury executioner from the Sheriff. This is really him bringing in his own kind of law, and but Beats is still the one alive. And every single time I see Beats alive, there is still a chance. Oh no, he breaks the door! He gets rid of Vash! That was so close, Vim.
So close
but
for
a
Beats.
small mistake. That was a small mistake from Beats twice, breaking those orbs.
Yeah, the thing is, you know, it's really tricky using that Devour from Reyna. If you don't, you know, maintain line of sight, if you don't, like,
My thanks.
make sure that the connection, the tether isn't severed. Basically, you just you have no abilities, and you can't really snowball like that, especially if you're trying to take out an entire squad. It's just very unfortunate. But he couldn't have made use of that Devour because he was just going to get basically pincered by Jessibash and Jikama.
Okay, and you know, all I gotta say though is Adroit, they have just gotten our attention here. Are they really calling it to us that we can make this comeback happen? Borkum not playing the closer range, and I love the tactics here from Adroit. It's already expectation that Bash is all the way by the spawn side, but oh no, Gadores was keeping an eye out on the middle. Borkum going down, good idea, but unfortunately that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Waldo into the res, and Adroit is all back and ready to go yet again.
Oh, that paint shell, just the right timing. You know, bringing down Borkum to 50 HP. They could wait for heal until they go for retake. But again, we have Showstopper coming online. This is night time for Worship to make a play. Being overwhelmed by Beats at 4 is also the firing squad to take down Dispenser. And they are executing it now.
Oh my god, Yadover's even getting the danger close to Kama there, and Dispenser might be kicking himself in the shin because he already got the lineup, didn't get the takedown. Spike planted, 3 versus 4. We'll keep an eye out on how this is going to pan out here for the side of Retaliate, because this might be the round that they are looking for here, ladies and gentlemen. Omen Smoke, though, going to be into play yet again, and Vash breaking down the window. What's the plan here for Adroit? Sticking on the high ground so far, and he'll be throwing out that recon ball to just make sure he can get the intel on. Trying to get the wall bang, not going to happen. Showstopper, though, into play, and where is the rocket? There we go with the paranoia. Seems like Worship is just trying to bait something out. Time ticking, and I do believe Retaliate has this in the bag. Ripper gets 2, and it is gonna be an upset waiting to happen. This is Retaliate saying we are the new bosses in the block, and it feels like they're just leveling on up with a map 1 victory against Adroit. 13-10 though. Really impressive from Adroit, getting a really long streak on that defense.
Oh my gosh. Mr. Daks. If only you could see my face, and if only Yuns could see my face. Oh my gosh. In just a few moments, you will see that I am just absolutely speechless at what just happened in that match with Beats on, 30 on the board. I don't know.
I've been staring at your face for quite a while there, Mr. Vim, and the moment that game ended, you just had so many things to say through your face. And it just goes to show it's unbelievable, and it really feels like this is as good as it can get. Look at the irony there. Adroit Esports picks Ascent, and Retaliate is the one who takes that victory. Where did that go all right for Retaliate, Vim?
They just did some pretty much new strategies, very unorthodox, very aggressive. They pretty much didn't give Adroit too much respect. They knew their proficiency when it came to mechanics. They're pretty much top tier players in their own right, and they knew they could go toe to toe with even someone like Dispenser or Vash, and they pretty much capitalized on that they are on an equal playing field. So the burden was pretty much on Adroit to counteract whatever Retaliate has in store, because they are a newly formed team. They don't have any exposed strategies. We don't know what Retaliate has in store for us, especially coming into the next games just a bind.
Yes, sir. And I believe we'll be taking a quick little break there to allow our teams to get a little bit of a reprieve. But before we go, just want to quickly remind you guys that we are still giving away 2 out of the 3 Rival 3 mice from SteelSeries. All you gotta do is head on over to the FB stream, share that thing with the proper hashtags, and you are good to go. We have picked a winner from yesterday, and we gave him a little bit of a shout out right there. And who knows, you might be able to get an amazing mouse just like this. Look at it. So small, but so good for the hands. And of course, for our grand prize winner, it's 10k plus 5 of those Arctics One headsets that Mr. Vim is repping right now. But as we say before, we will be right back. Stay tuned, stick around. This is the Go for Glory Cup from SteelSeries by Valorant PH.
Okay, holy shit. Holy shit.
SteelSeries and Red Moon Workshop production. One rider falls, another one rises. The Neon Rider is back again, and this time he's taking no prisoners.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to be getting into game number 2 of this best of 3 in our first semifinal. But what a match that was on Ascent, and what's an upset to start things off. My name is Daks.
My name is Vyminal.
And we are going to be getting into our second map of this best of 3 in just a bit. But Vim, before we get into Bind, that Ascent map by Retaliate, what's a pedigree play to say the least?
Yep, absolutely. No words for what just happened except for Retaliate really showing what they are made of. Again, the burden is on Adroit to counteract their strategy because we don't know what to expect from Retaliate coming into Bind and pretty much the rest of the series if they go 1-for-1.
Yeah, but the thing to note though, looking into Bind, that used to be Adroit's playground, and now that they have been more refined, not too sure if they've been still playing into Bind, but from its first iteration, Bind has been their comfort zone and half. I would be surprised if Adroit can just go for the surprise here. We saw them get back to their feet. We saw them get back to the momentum on that second half on Ascent. But it still was Retaliate's show for quite a while, especially on the attack itself. So what do you think? What does Adroit need to do to get it back on into game number 2?
Bind, again, is one of those maps that are very favored when it comes to having multiple operators on the board. Very heavily defense-sided, I believe, at least. So it really depends whether or not Adroit will be starting on defense or attack. But maybe, just maybe, the double intel comp is not the way to go against an opponent such as Retaliate. But that remains to be seen.
Exactly, and we will be getting into game number 2 very, very shortly. If Adroit does go for the win here, though, we will be getting into Haven to try and equalize. But looking at this map, well, so much possibilities, so many things that can really go on. And as we are going to be getting into the game, Adroit just needs to wake on up and get back into the rhythm. We saw it before, especially when Vash is just on the board and making the operator count. But this has been a great start for our second day, and you are here in the SteelSeries Go for Glory Cup Day 2 semifinals as well as the finals. We got 3 BO3s for you, 2 of the semifinals, 1 of the finals right there, and it's 45k on the line in terms of cash as well as prizes. 10k plus 5 Arctis 1 headset that I'm also repping right now. I just called, it's like, hey, can I have a Arctis 1 too? It's like, oh, it's here. We are good to go. And it's an amazing delivery system, so plus points even to SteelSeries there. And of course, it's 5k to our runner-up. So as long as you make it the finals, you're in the money. But you know what? We're going to be getting into the game with Retaliate on the defense first.
Retaliate on defense first. We got Worship on Raze Ripper, on Cypher Ghidorahs, on Omen Eden, on Sage Beats, on Reyna. Pretty much the same lineup from the last game. Double intel comp coming in for the side of Adroit with Borkum on Brimstone instead of Omen. Okay, so if you're going for double intel comp, especially in this map, I do believe that Brimstone is a better pick. And I did mention in the previous game that it would have been very, very different if only they had a Brimstone. And Dispenser with a Reyna. Seeing a Reyna versus Reyna.
Yes, sir. I gotta say though that you're that Brimstone get the burst smokes basically compared to the Omen where it kind of regenerates along the way. So Adroit right now, they're just making that swap. But we said it before about Borkum. He's an amazing control type of player, and his smoke play is excellent. His anchor play is excellent, and he's always in a position that he will win a duel out. But this is Adroit right now on the attack here. As looking to set the career, here comes the ball from the stage, and it seems like they are going to be executing on the side of it. The doors though taking care of Hulu, but the Spencer is going to be back on first love the Reyna, and we'll find out if they can hold as lamps are taken by the Reyna here.
4v3 situation, very unconventional shower push. So it seems that perhaps Adroit is going to be playing, out of the ordinary as well against an opponent such as Retaliate, because they do know very well both default strats. Pretty interesting retake coming in from Beast and company.
Oh my god, they're coming in there from the shower, and they set up the same kind of wall there, Vim. Worship looking to make it happen. Eden in the meantime trying to get Lucy, but the Spencer is popping off, but Eden gets to pop onto the head instead. Beautifully done by the stage, clutching it out there.
That was an incredible retake coming in from Retaliate. Great counter strategy. And if you pretty much go for that shower push, you gotta watch your flank, because the best way to retake or counteract that strategy is going for that shower push as well. Team huddle, as esports is real sports. You see that more often.
Safety's off.
If Retaliate popularizes that sort of team huddle.
Yeah, at least they do have that camaraderie kind of thing. But we have the next one. Immediately, it seems like we even need to put a board from there. And that is going to be right now getting another one on the board. Retaliate has been so superb on the defense so far here, Vim, and they have taken care of 3 already.
Yep. Now going to be a 1v5. The round is over. Pretty much a bonus round for Ghidorahs and company, as DPUs goes off flawless round for Retaliate. Now we're going to be seeing potentially full buys on both sides, or perhaps a 2-1 scoreline as Retaliate chooses not to upgrade fully, coming into round 3.
Yes, sir. Adroit's going to be going for all the buys in the world, trying to go for that third round turn around. And in the meantime, we will see if the side of Retaliate can hold the line here. Worship, though, looking to at least play the Vandal for the time being. And it's going to be a... What kind of stack this is? Is it 3 on B, 2 on A?
They're going 3 long. Who does that? Who does that, man? Retaliate does that. Again, very unexpected strategies coming into play here. Could bite them in the back though, as Adroit is doing a classic ace split.
Sir. And here we go now with Dispenser trying to get a little bit of the love tap onto the tripwire there. Godowers though in the meantime trying to get the paranoia on. He's sticking by the lamps. Ripper paying attention. Interesting slower blow up on top. And here we go with the potential execute after Adroit tossing down their utility here. Smokes down, ready to go. Adroit with the walled up. Over to Derek. Hold the line at the end. Bowman right now gonna get two. The comment one back. Ripper paying attention.
Oh my.
Plant, but not so safe. This is Retaliate. It's holding the line again, and the defense from this squad is superb to say the least.
Absolutely. And this is very, very uncommon, seeing a 3-0 scoreline, especially against a team like Adroit. You know, them losing the full buy round against an opponent that has the gun disadvantage, as they did not fully upgrade in the previous round. Now they do have, you know, full firepower with Adroit forcing to go on the Sheriff.
And we will be getting back into this one, as it is going to be Adroit right now, pushing into B side instead, but Retaliate looking to be low, but can't get from back already. Where to go in the meantime, making the back account, the set to do the table. They beat tried to go for the push, but this is Sheriff gameplay from the side of Adroit so far.
Really good Sheriff gameplay, and now we have a 4v2 situation with pretty much Ripper and Godowers on rifles. Gonna try to make the most of their gun advantage here. Still totally doable for the side of Retaliate, but Adroit has gone into first glance with Brimstone and Wardham on making sure that perhaps they could not go for exit threats. But totally 3v2. And going into the fourth round, we're going to be seeing full buys on either
This is a
side.
nice spot. That goes there.
Yep, rifles abound. Rifles abound, full armor. Eden still has enough money to go for an operator, so we both see operators on both sides, one on each. And this is pretty interesting, Mr. Daks, because you see that a lot of top tier players now prefer the Phantom over the Vyminal, which is totally different from the meta that we've seen in the post-launch of Valorant.
Yeah, I gotta agree though, that Phantom, that extra fire rate, extra bullets, and that silencer to help things out there. But Beat will be able to at least clean up the comments of Microsoft Boomy right now, getting back on the board. Beat still coming on back as well. And it really goes to show with Reyna, it starts things off hot. They just even so spicy. One of those sets already. And that was breaking it down. Bash going for the resurrection. Gonna look running out here. Trying to work hard there to hold yet again. Bash go now versus 2. Trying to pay attention where this raise is coming from. That's Cold Blast back. Arden's now going to be held by Adroit so far. And backing on now to get over to the other side. That's the beauty of Bind here, Bim. And they're going on over to A side instead.
It makes for very clutchable situations, you know, that teleporter off of B. And if you can count on anybody to clutch around, it's going to be this man, Jesse Bash, on his signature operator.
We'll see though if Bash can get the snipes on again. There we go though with the paint shells, and that will give in a big clutch of hurt. Ripper though with the surprise, using that tripwire placed there for a rainy day. And that is just Retaliate again, getting one back. 4-1 right now. Shades of the previous map right there, Vim.
Yeah, 4-1. Very, very unprecedented performance from Retaliate. In a previous tournament, Adroit also had a similar struggle against a different team, Team Cute Boy, and this was on the same map. Fine. They started on offense. They faced an equally strong opponent on defense, and they had a really tough time. And Bind is one of those maps that if you start an offense and you are pretty much stopped by a couple of operators, or just at least one really strong operator, then you're gonna have a hard time.
And it seems like Bash though is making this a little difficult for Retaliate to at least go for the aggressive defense to start things off. Spencer even lining it up, getting rid of Beats there in the first place. Quick little dismiss though to try and get for the push. And this is going to be time right now to see if the side of Retaliate can go for the hold. But you know, Bim, when you're trying to get that B rating, it's just so hard when you're all stacked up on your spawn.
Yeah, this is definitely not a doable situation in this case. Yeah, Adroit has gone full post plant already, and it appears that Retaliate will be going for the save. As they should. As they should.
That's pretty much it. Retaliate can't really do anything by this point in time, and in an instance like this, they will just be looking to maybe get rid of people who TP on this side. But Adroit able to set on up in the first place. They're able to do all they can and more, and it's impressive to see how they get onto B and just win it out that way.
I totally agree with you there. As Portman gets out the doors, making sure that they cannot save their guns. Spencer also taking out Worship 4-2 on the scoreline. Things are looking pretty decent for Adroit. You know, it's not as lopsided as the first game's attack phase for Adroit. But when they swap over to the defense, you know, advantage will be in favor of Adroit, definitely. So if they get like maybe 5 to 6 rounds here, that sets them up for a really good defense phase.
Adroit's still trying to make things happen, and they will have the gun advantage here. But we've seen before, Retaliate can destroy out of nowhere with those pistols. And also, a while ago, Sheriff gameplay from Adroit, so it isn't unprecedented. It isn't something that is surprising to see in the first place. The Spencer, though, crawling on upwards. Here comes the push right now from Adroit, potentially moving on to the B short side. And it beats end the race. Trying to hold the line. They get revealed by the dart immediately. Forced to give up a hookah, playing onto the site itself instead.
I mean, they could go for the potential rotate here to A site, as the spike is left at market. So they could be going for a B fake here, and then use the teleporter to explode on A side through shower. We'll see if that will happen, but Ghidorah's is basically locking down showers in that really cheeky spot that I really hate. But we'll see.
You just gotta find those spots that are very, very finicky to use. And sometimes when you're just crouching like that, you can go for a surprise. But a little bit of B-fake onto the 8 with Spencer, though, is looking behind. And he sees not just 1, but 2 and 3. And Spencer getting 1 already. On beats as well. Another one perhaps onto the raise. Decides to dismiss, but Worship gives chase. And at the very least, it's gonna be a quick little scoreline there for the side of the side so far on the board. But it's still Adroit doing all they can and more.
Really good job from Spencer delaying the entire defense of Retaliate, taking 2 with him and stalling just enough time for Worship to take him out and pretty much closing out the round. So as long as the Adroit keeps this up, as long as they counteract their strategies, get a read on the opponent, but now it's not time for Retaliate to retaliate and basically get a read on Adroit, figure out what they have to do to counter strategy. They do have 4 ultimates online. Showstopper, Empress, we could be seeing a very aggressive play. We've been seeing this aggressive long B push, 3-man long B push to no avail as of late.
Yes, sir. And look, Adroit is at least trying to look for the equalizer. You know, it's not really too common when we think that Adroit is going to be on the back foot. But at least they're getting back into form here.
I know exactly.
Nope. Not gonna get the intel game immediately. Jakama has to hide on the way, get into cover, because that's gonna be the Cypher exposing his position. Go on the board. Jakama getting a takedown onto the crossfire onto Ghidorah's. And I think the problem there is they really thought that they would get killed onto the Cypher, but it doesn't happen. Jakama getting killed for free. Adroit right now tying things up. And well, Mr. Vim, it seems like that they are just able to execute pretty well so far.
Yeah, maybe they were just pretty much warming up on the first game. But we rarely see that A-safe plant from Jesse Vash. He tends to be more creative than that. I guess he used that to his advantage in that round because the opponent was saving for a counter wall perhaps, or pretty much did not see that coming, because Jesse Vash is known to be really, really cheeky with his wall plays, and rarely does he use it for that A-safe plant.
Back into the action, and with Borkum lining it up, Ripper goes down immediately. It really feels like it's just that kind of game, that Adroit has suddenly gotten their own tempo, their own speed, as Worship makes the frenzy work all the way onto the B side. Here we go though with the ball of the revolvers. Eden versus Dash. Hoping to get the kick off here. The Spencer gonna get res on up with a showstopper into play, and Worship blowing up fast. to Kingdom Come. But Dispenser is back. He is with a vengeance. He gets 3 so far. Got the worst inside the cave. You can make a little bit of a player reference right there, but it really feels like this is just Adroit getting back all the momentum they needed and more to get this push on and to get the advantage in this half.
It was looking pretty dire for Adroit initially with a 4-1 scoreline, but now they won 3 rounds consecutively. It's looking to be like a 4-5, which sets them up for a pretty good defense phase. The Doors might be able to get an exit frag here, but it's looking like a pretty long stretch.
It's not gonna happen. I think he's just gonna pretend he's on the attack here instead, Vim. And as Adroit has just been able to execute no matter what side they have been, what do you really feel like has been the biggest deal for Adroit? How are they getting these sides basically for free here?
Dispenser is just keeping the enemy guessing whether or not they're committing to that, but Gador is really, sticking it out to the end, getting a Phantom and getting a pick off that Sova. But Dispenser has been a key player for Adroit this time around.
You know, I gotta say, Gador's and his attacker cosplay working out for him. It's like AFK, that guy's AFK. And surprise, surprise, you run on him and he shoots you in the face. But this is more the Adroit experience we have been looking for. And it seems like they have woken on up like a slumbering beast coming out of hibernation. Have you ever poked a sleeping bear, Vim? Please don't, because you will die. Because it really just goes to show that Adroit is an apex predator, to say the least. And getting the advantage back after a slow starts, well, it really just proves their skill all throughout the series.
Yep, and it goes to show why they've never pretty much lost the tournament in the local scene just yet, and they're not going to go down without fight, especially against a team like Retaliate. So it seems like they're doing similar strategy. They haven't really adjusted yet. Rotations have changed from the side of Retaliate, but they're playing for picks. Adroit is playing for picks now, and Dispenser is just maintaining very dominant presence on the field.
Dispenser is just even scarier on the Reyna. He's been learning the Phoenix and he's been doing well on it, but it really feels like he's more at home on this feast or famine kind of agent. And they saw the success of the Reyna earlier on, and if they feel like, sure, they're going to be playing Reyna, we can play Reyna too. We can just go for a brawl, go for the out mechanical, and Adroit is just doing that. But Bash holding on to the long angle. Worship will line things up, but Forkum right now helping out Humi. But the Sova goes down, and here comes Yakama to get the trade on back instead. Teleport the play there from the Omen, committing on it. Gador surprising them from the backstab. They thought it was a fake. It didn't really happen there. And Gador is taking control of the hookah as the elbow right now. Going to be placed to be here for Adroit. 1 versus 3. Doesn't meet the Cypher there. So very close, but I don't think Vash has time here, Vim.
Yep, he doesn't have enough time. Just hold on to that operator, Mr. Vash.
I know. Shot coming on through.
He's going to be hunted down for sure.
He has to be, because this is going to be one big target. One lineup to save the day. That's still Gador's going down in the end. So it really goes to show you corner Vash. It will not be enough.
The scoreline is 5-5. Their B execute has been really, really successful for them so far. And you usually see the bomb go in B long, right? And that is because the teleporter is right there. If you have to rotate, if your entry frag goes down way too fast before he makes an entry onto site, you can just basically bail and go to a site instead. I really dislike what other players do wherein the spike goes through hookah. If you leave the spike at hookah, then it's so hard to take it back.
Hey, Gador is going to be looking for a quick little TP right there. Backing on out already. Dispenser though, finding out Ripper, and that's going to be a good guy there, but he goes into the tripwire, and the Omen takes advantage of that one. Beautiful, quick little ultimate there from Humi. The Worship going to get the boombot in response, knowing that Sova is stationary. And we are just going to get all tied up again on the numbers, but Chikama is back into play as Adroit sets up on the same side and is defending from the connector on main instead.
No matter how the rest of the rounds go for the first half, already Adroit has maximized their offensive phase. They've got 5 points so far. It's pretty much really good defense, but Adroit just bash on that classic.
Oh, Eden, though, has been oh so scary. He has been impressive to say the least here of him. But that is just the volley back from Borkum. That's a 3-point play from Mr. Borkum. This guy knows his B-ball, and he knows his bounces to make that fire count. Through the fire and the flames, not going to happen there for Eden. And that is just Adroit right now with a one-round lead here at the last round of this half.
It's really hard to go for that execute, rather retake on A, because you have Borkum on the board, and he knows his Molly lineups, right? And then it's basically playing for time from then on. So you got to take out Brimstone as early as possible if you're gonna try to go for that retake. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough retake.
Absolutely, Gadores is going to be getting that initial pick onto the shower already. And now him, it really feels like with the operator in the hands of this Omen, he can be anywhere and everywhere and looking to get a pick off or two. Keeping an eye out on the shower side. Here we go with the wall. Humi gonna push forward to get that kill. Heaven gonna get smoked out. Ripper can't really do anything so far. And it really feels like here, that's every single time that Adroit gets a spike plant, they're always in a good spot to make something happen. But Ripper is still there up on Heaven. He lurks long enough to get rid of Shikamato and Humi tag team challenge into Wins Wars, and they are winning it out for their team. 1 versus 2 though. Neural Theft right now gonna get popped, and Ripper will get exposed. He's trying to get rid of Borkum. The beautiful wall down there. 1 bullet though for the side of the Cypher. And we'll see if Jakama can do it already. Time is ticking here, Vim. And who will get the shot? Ripper with the quad.
Does he have enough
time? Does he have enough time? This spike is going to pop
just,
very soon.
Just enough.
1
second left on the clock. Amazing
1.01
clutch from Ripper.
Oh my god.
1.01.
Oh
okay.
my god. Ripper. What a guy that guy is. And he just takes second top frag right there after a 4K on that round. As sides are swapped though, Vim, but impressive to say the least.
Stark contrast on the scoreboard now. Beats bottom frag for pretty much the whole match. It's just really interesting, noting the performance difference in different maps and different phases. And now this is what I've been building up from the beginning of the match. The defense phase for Adroit. This is really going to change the momentum.
Exactly. And this is going to be where Adroit can truly shine. If you think that they can actually do one better, then we'll find out how this is all going to be panning on out. But Adroit will be holding in a very, very familiar manner. We see the Cypher stage on B going for the stack right there. And on the A side, it's going to be 3 of them looking to do something in the first place. But it is going to be a little bit of a pause for now, as Worship seemingly having some internet issues, and he will be taking a quick little breather here. So I got a question for you, Vim.
Yeah.
It's all 6-6 right now. What do you think the side of Retaliate has special on the defense that allows them to get such a good scoreline against Adroit? A while ago on Ascent, they dominate. This time it's a tied score, but what's their secret stuff in this series?
It's pretty black and white, I think. They've been playing really aggressive on defense. They have a competent operator. They have Cypher locking down either B or A at any given point in time during defense. And really, if you maintain that line of sight for the operator, whatever team is on offense is going to have a struggle, even if it's a team like Adroit. By the way, the match pause feature is such a godsend. Guys, to guys in chat, we used to do tournaments without match pause. It's just it was pretty much a nightmare. But now we do have a match pause, and we can go to the cinematic camera and appreciate the environmental design that the environmental artists have been putting into this game. There's so much detail that I did not realize in the past.
Yeah, but I gotta say though that, hey, at least we can zoom out, and we can really zoom out all the way and see the whole skybox and even more so. But I just gotta say though, Retaliate has been pretty impressive to say the least after that victory there on the side of Ascent. It really feels like the shoe was completely on the other foot. And if you guys are tuning on in, and it sounds like it's Adroit where saying the underdog is, because after that last game, it really feels that way, especially they're on the attack. So getting a 66 against Retaliate is something they should be proud of, because this is now the uphill battle for Retaliate. They didn't really do too well on their attack. They banked on their defense scoreline to save them from this rainy, stormy day. And it just goes to show that this is now the shoe on the other foot. Retaliate is the one going for the uphill battle. Can they do it? That's going to be the question. They already have that first round win, that first map win, rather. So that's where they can really build on from there, as we are staring into the rain eyes. I'm already scared, Mr. Cameraman. But as I was saying, this Retaliate team has been, one we've said impressive, one we said that has come together to just show up and beat out the likes of Adroit. And they have come in from so many experienced teams that they bring in their own strategies, they bring in their own know-how. And Retaliate is just an amazing, amazing team to witness, making basically their debut in this tournament.
And what a debut it's been so far. Historic series we are all witnessing today, with a 9-3 scoreline in the previous match. On the first half. When has that ever happened to a team like Adroit? I believe it only happened one time when they were on Vine offense against Team Cute Boy in the previous tournament. But this, 66 can go either way. We don't know what Retaliate has in store for us on their offense phase. Beats has yet to come online. He's ready to frag out, I'm sure, as soon as match pause timer is unpaused. So I think match pause timer.
The unpause is real. The
unpause is real.
Chronosphere right there going to be going on away. But what's up?
Mr. Daks, just like to clarify for the rest of our viewers as well, what happens when we get a tie at match?
There's no tie. We play until someone wins. So
okay, so overtime is on.
Overtime is on, and we will not stop till someone wins. So we can go the long haul here. We're making records, ladies and gentlemen. If we can get the record of the longest ever game in the Go for Glory Cup, then that is just one more achievement this tournament can do. But let's go, Retaliate. It's time for them to prove their stuff yet again. And if they want to get the biggest upset that can really happen here, this is where they can prove to us that they can do even better on the attack compared to Adroit. Gotta say, though, their Omen has been the star of the show so far. But here we're going to be that intel, and this is the beat show. That is just 1-2 trapping the Zums. And it really feels like when he gets the beat down yet again, he gets the bongo on and tapping those heads. He gets 3 so far. Borkham right now looking to line it up, wanting to go for the taps there, but Beats is on fire. 80% of those kills go over to Beats. And like I said before, Mr. Vyminal, when I see Beats get these headshots, it really feels like he's just going, okay, I'll put a drum on your head, tap it down, and do the same thing to someone else.
It's just incredible at chaining kills. And that's why I think Reina is such a good pick for someone like Beats. Because if you have someone as consistent as him on pretty much any gun, whether it be an op, whether it be a rifle or a pistol, you can count on that guy to snowball and make use of Reina's kit.
And this is time right now for Retaliate to add one up to their collection and get the momentum on. Maybe earlier on, they just really struggled against Bash and his operator on Ascent. Here on Bind, it might be a little easier if they are even pushing into B-Long just like this. They really feel like they belong in the upper echelons of the PA scene. And they are looking for a Cypher there. Gets rid of the white hat and more. Worship even blowing up Bash. And this is just retaliation yet again. They say, hey, you tie it up 6-6. It doesn't matter because we are here to play Slay, and we have gotten 2 on the board with such a big advantage here for Retaliate so far.
First couple of rounds has always been won by Retaliate, even in their previous match. As of course, the first couple rounds of this match, it's just very explosive play style. Sort of blitzkrieg, shock and awe type of thing going on. It looks like they're going to be switching it up this time with Worship on that alert. And I've stated this even yesterday during our previous stages. It's just that Worship is just pretty unpredictable on the way he plays, right? Sometimes he lurks, sometimes he goes entry. But now it appears that he's going to be alert, and we're going to be seeing a shower execute from Ascent Company.
But it seems like it's a little bit of that drone action there. Looking to check out the TP play in the first place. And if you guys are looking at the scoreboard and see that it looks wrong, it's just the colors are wrong. It's the red team should be the side of Retaliate right now. I think it's because we paused during halftime. So a little bit of an error there. Don't worry about it. The
Yeah.
score is correct and the names are there as well. And it really feels like here it's going to be an A take waiting to happen. But as you said before, the Garden Lurk here from the Rays so far, splitting it over two defenders here, perhaps on the side, make that 3-1 inside Cubby. So danger close for the Spencer. It's been working out so far, and he is top frag for a reason. Leading up from the right there, he was economical, but Borkum right now, consistency yet again. The lineup from Mr. Borkum is just oh so clean. If you give him a ruler, he'll say he doesn't need it, and the Spencer is able to get that one done.
We're seeing a pretty much standard scoreline with the third round of the half being secured by the team that loses the second or the first two pistol rounds. Borkum, really good play there. Just not getting fast enough trade frags for the side of Retaliate. Unfortunately, probably did not expect Borkum to be in that cubby corner.
I gotta say though, when Adroit plays those cubbies, they know how to execute so well. They're very quick on the trigger finger, and especially the Spencer and Borkum having that tactical shooter background. That's basically their star players there, but that's the doors. This man is doing no wrong. You know that door in this name because he is such a doer here. He's been getting so many kills in the mid-range. His rifle game is unparalleled so far, and Jakama able to trade one back, but Gadors is putting some fear on the opponent here.
I'd just like to point out how strong Paranoia is on those tight corridors, such as A short and B short as well, especially coming into hookah. So Omen, I definitely understand the rationale as to why they maintain the same lineup for this map. And this is we're going to be seeing some plays made there, definitely. Empress is online for beats, and we've seen him absolutely slay with that Empress chaining kills left and right. It's going to be a 2-2 defense split for the side of Adroit here. And the double intel agents could be in for some trouble.
And it really feels like when it's Beats up alone, he can still clutch it out. But Humi is just so consistent, and Beats will get rid of Jakama, but Humi has gotten 3 onto the elbow, make that 4. Doesn't really matter. The Sova with one blind eye, we just close our eyes and let Humi do the work. As for his name, he's asking, what? Who, me? You're looking at me? Goodbye. And that is just Adroit evening things up again. And this is what Adroit can really do on the defense. They figure something out. They figure out how you play on the attack, and they just keep on punishing you. Cubby play, elbow play, corner angles. Adroit is making you left and right, but that 90-degree is snapping your neck rather than letting you snap to their faces.
Actually, you know, it's pretty interesting that they chose to pair up the two intel agents on one side. Typically, you see teams splitting up those intel agents, but it's working out pretty well for them as Dispenser gets a pick onto Worship.
Man, Spencer, this guy can do no wrong when he is just able to play his own style. And here we go now with the Empress. You gotta be careful though. He has only 9 bullets. Can you make it happen? Goes for spam and gets the ankle breaker on the Ripper there. Dismissed in front of the opposition. Decides to TP there instead. Couldn't find the opening. I get that there. Really safe play. Just to not get tapped down. And Hui is again getting so many kills. Last 2 rounds, 7 out of 10 there. That's a passing score for Humi to say the least, and he is going to be on the second part of the scoreboard.
Full buys coming on for the side of Retaliate. It was pretty interesting what Dispenser did right there. Dismiss and stared the face of the enemy. You know, stared them right in the eyes and just went for that TP play. I've never seen that before, but you know, that's Dispenser really showing his presence on the board. You know, saying, I'm here in A short, and you better not dare cross my path.
You know what we shouldn't dare count out is the Retaliate and the fact that I really think this is their first ever tournament. So when you get a new team, no matter what kind of experience you have in, right? It really feels like they have to show up as a team, and they will always be an underdog in a way against a superior team such as Adroit. But it really goes to show they teamed up for a reason. These veterans from so many different Valorant teams that we've seen before, as well as coming in from so much experience in so many different games. So it really is just a term of use right now, but it just goes to show that these are faces that have probably seen one another in another game. And this is going to be Gador facing off against Chikama there. Hunter's Fury now into play, and Humi catching that one there. Beautiful storm, though, courtesy of Jesse Bash, and teamwork from Adroit is just always good to see. Here comes the Orbital Strike, so looking to get the top on down. Beats gonna clean up Humi there. And here comes Beats right now, popping that Empress. So the Queen is crowned, and we'll see if she can be regal here, because Eden gonna get on the board there. Beats also with another kill. Crossfire is into play, and you can see the difficulty for Adroit. They cannot go on the B side if they're stacked on the head of B itself, and there is just no way that will be Retaliate, giving that one up for free, because Beats is on the beatdown. He is in the rhythm, and he is also with a 13 kill mark there.
Now we're seeing Godor's on the operator. His rifle skills were definitely unparalleled all throughout the series so far. Now we're seeing him on the operator, which is pretty interesting. He managed to get an opening on for that B execution. And I love the restraint that was showed by Worship. Most teams would have gone for the plant and would have been -1 for defending post plant, but they chose to just engage and go for the kills. You know, sometimes you don't have to play the objective to win.
You know what else is just gonna be happening right there? It really is just Jesse Vash making it happen. Operator in his clutches, and there you go. This is what Retaliate was afraid of. And even though Bind is a lot easier to deal with the op because of how it's structured with those corners and all the like, it's still Vash on the op. So you gotta be careful. I can see possible locations here. Bim has to be long as well as elbow, right? Anything else maybe he can position into B sites?
There's also a very cheeky pre-fire corner onto Hookah. Like he could basically jiggle peek and take one out without even aiming for that person. Just generally pre-fire a corner. And chances are there's one guy trying to pre-aim you and not expecting a jiggle peek. So we might see Jesse Bash doing that later.
Jesse Bash, this guy can pop time any single time, and he is just gonna get a teamwork mania dreamwork there. Dispenser back and hold, and that's 2 more there. Oh my god, this is Adroit bread and butter with Bash on the operator.
This is what we've come to experience from Adroit. This is them, in their true form, and they do not disappoint at all. Now, Retaliate will be forced to go for another econ round, or perhaps a broken buy. Looks like they are going to be opting to go with the Ghosts and Sheriffs. So this could be a 9-11 in favor of Adroit.
Pay attention though. This is now Adroit with the lead. When they are the ones in a corner him, and you don't really say that too often. We have Retaliate impressing, making this such a good game. This is their map pick though, but as we said before, Bind is just the OG map of Adroit to begin with. Like from the get-go, closed beta is Bind. We love Bind. Bind is the way to go. We see it from every single iteration of that. Memes, 5s, and now
right.
This is their playground, and you can really see Retaliate bring it to such a good scoreline. It's impressive to say the least. Pistol Rando into play, and this is just basically Retaliate falling on over. But they do get a lot out of this. They got 2 kills, they got the spike plant, so they should be happy basically of what they've gotten so far.
Yeah, I was surprised that Worship was able to walk through U-Haul just like that.
It's something, it's something when no one's paying attention. A little bit of that dispenser gameplay again, but Fast right now with that rifle instead gets the tap down, and Jagama will be on bomb defuse duty. So I get the plan there. Move over to A wherever the save isn't, because it feels like the kryptonite right now of Retaliate is Jesse Bash. It took them a while to figure out what to do against Bash on Ascent. They smoked him out, and it still was trouble, right? So avoiding the Sage has to be the way to go here, Vim, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just Spencer, 22 frags on the board. Top frag for Adroit. Definitely was MVP for the offense phase. But you know what? MVP for the defenses is definitely going to be the Sage. Those delaying tactics, delay utilities, and of course the operator capitalizing on that.
Oh no, but good words.
will
He's
not
proving that
kill
he's
my
such a
ally.
rifleman. He can make the operator count, and Humi goes back just
Oh,
in time.
no,
It's the worst way to go. They bust through the wall. Bash still holding the line with the Phantom, and Worship going for the flag. Everything have gotten Gopel's already, and this is Jesse Bash carrying right here. Position 1 at his bias. He gets 4, and he is over the ace. Is this a DP? Yes, it is. It looks like it. Bash with the ace in the hole, and that is gonna be a match point situation here for the side of Adroit. But even if Worship DC's there, gotta say, that is Bash doing all he can. And like he says to me, his words echo. It's like, kung di mo papatayin yan, ako papatay. Ako na para sa lahat. He will get everything. He will get all those kills, and I'm just gonna smile and say, okay, don't worry, thanks for upping my rank, bro.
I mean, what I tell you, Jesse Vash, right on cue, MVP of defense, boys. It's just what a sight to see. What a sight to see. Double operators coming online for Adroit as we go into match pause once more. Borcom going on that operator, and of course Jesse Vash is holding on to that. That's his baby. That's his signature weapon, and for good reason. Now it's looking very dire for Retaliate. They do have sort of a broken buy. Ripper opting to go for that Spectre. And I'm pretty sure AKG Worship will not have enough for a force buy. Beats on that half armor. But that's okay because he's Reyna. And he can go full armor just by using a Devour. But they don't have enough money for an operator. And that could be a problem for them. Let's hope that Worship can reconnect. And once again, truly a godsend feature. In 2020, it is important to have a match pause, as everything is going to be online.
Bossing is good. Hey, I just
bossing
want to
is
say
good.
though, for Retaliate, that there is always a chance for anyone to pop off. We've seen
Yeah.
literally everyone do it. Can we get a quick little tab right there? Because I just want to enumerate what's been going on for Retaliate so far in the series. Eden, he's showed up with that Sage. We remember that round where he's just like,
Right.
oh, I'm gonna tap you. I'm gonna tap you. Ripper. This guy clutching it out
Hey,
on the
yeah.
end of the first half here for Bind. Worship has always been a strong entry fragger alongside his other duelists. And the thing about Worship, he's been very interesting with those raised techs a while ago on Ascent. It's just easy pickings, satchel into Showstopper, and he hops back down the wall. So it's really him knowing what to do. Beats in the meantime, whenever I see Beats versus everyone else, I really feel that it is still winnable compared to like
Right.
here for the side Retaliate. It's like, it's consistent. Okay, I don't think it's gonna happen. The way it beats, it can happen.
Yeah. I mean, if it's pretty hard to identify a star player on either of these teams, right? But if there could be a star player for the side of Retaliate, it would either be Beats or Ghidorahs for sure.
Yeah, Ghidorahs. I do just want to mention him at the last moment. Mr. Consistency right there. And I do believe our admins have made a decision. We do have a match pause time per map. And it feels like that it's just taking a little too long here for the side of Retaliate. So they are going to be going at it for V5 right now. And this will be good for them in a way if they lose here already. They still have the map to give, and they will have that time to fix up whatever issues Worship has to get into that decider on Haven. But as we said before, we enumerated what these guys have done so far in the series, and
Right.
as we keep saying, they can do pretty much anything. Everything is possible. Nothing is impossible. Impossible. I'm trying to remember my prefixes. But you know what? It's the part things off here is Ripper getting that kill, but Jesse Bash is tiptoeing right now on top of a wall. He feels like he's trying Grayson here and there, and surprise, surprise, in the smoke doesn't matter because Bash is on the high ground. This is acrobatics at its finest, and he's even giving me the Odin. I love this guy already, but there is Ghidorah. He is just unstoppable with the rifle, as we say. Jikama brought back to life. Here we go with quick throw, T-Fuse, and throws don't fake, they stick it. Adroit says, let's end this on a high note, and let's end this one here and now. Adroit ties things up here, Vyminal, and it is going to be impressive to see a map number 3 for our first semi.
As we mentioned in the past, it doesn't matter if you win or lose against Adroit. The matter of fact is they put up a really good, impressive performance against Detroit, especially on that first game, winning the first map, which was Ascent, and Bind, initially having a 4-1 scoreline and ending the half at 6-6. Now we are going to go to a game number 3 on Haven, and it can really go either way. Another balanced map that obviously in high tier play will utilize those operators. So we shall see. I really think that they will still go for the same team comp. It works for pretty much any map, honestly.
Yep. I gotta say that for Retaliate, the pick potential is something they're gonna be relying on. Like, we look at Adroit, and we know who's gonna be going for those picks. It has to be the Spencer, right? And in Haven, it's that 3-point affair, and if you're on the defense and you lose one, it just becomes oh so difficult to figure things out. But since we are having a few issues here and there, also for the side of Retaliate, we'll take this time to take a little break. But before we go, don't forget that this is the SteelSeries Go for Glory Cup Day 2. This is only the first semifinal. We still have a second one later on, as well as the grand final. So you are tuning in to some of the best Philippine Valorant action here, both on Twitch as well as our Facebook page. So we will be right back. Stay tuned, stick around. We'll be getting into our third map as soon as possible.
how gorgeous they are. Be the
A SteelSeries and Red Moon Workshop production. One rider falls, another one rises. The Neon Rider is back again, and this time he's taking no prisoners.
at how gorgeous they are. Be the
A SteelSeries and Red Moon Workshop production. One rider falls, another one rises. The Neon Rider is back again, and this time he's taking no prisoners.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's now do or die time for one of these two teams. We are all tied up 1-1. But we are back and ready to go. My name is Daks.
And my name is Vyminal.
And we are going to be getting into Haven next, Mr. Vim. But this has been an amazing start to our day, that's for sure. Adroit versus Retaliate. Who would have thunk it'd be this kind of game? Ascent, an amazing defense from Retaliate. Adroit doing the same thing there. But it still was just too much to handle. They're on bye, though. Adroit feeling more back into the rhythm, tying things up on their attack 6-6, and then just defending to the best degree. As we are getting to Haven, though, any kind of thoughts who might have the advantage coming into this next map?
Yeah. Again, we might see the same team compositions. Especially a map like Haven, double intel could definitely be the play for a team like Adroit. Double intel, really challenging to pull off. But if you're a team like Adroit and you're very competent in your own right, basically no weak links in the team, then double intel could be the way to go. And they could make it work even on attack. If you have 3 sites, you can really make use of that info. But this remains to be seen if Retaliate will have an unconventional lineup. Perhaps we will see a no Sage coming into play, or no. We are seeing basically no Reyna this time around.
Ooh, interesting. So it seems like they are going to be getting rid of the Reyna and going for the utility there on the Phoenix instead. So let me take the edge from you here, Mr. Vim, because we got Ripper on that Cypher, Gadzora's on the Omen, Eden on the Sage, Beats on the Phoenix, and Worship on the Raze. On the other side, it's Humi on the Sova, Jakama on the Cypher, Borkum on the Brimstone, Vash on the Sage, and Dispenser on the Reyna. So that's my first question here, as it seems like it's going to be a duel in the middle already. Borkum getting the first kill there, Beats though getting a trade on back. So my question has to wait because there's already action happening here. Beats holding on to the garage so far. This Phoenix looking to stay alive. And this is what I was going to be mentioning here. With the Phoenix, they have that self-sustain. But Humi going to be able to get the headshot on. He wants to go for Gadovers, but this guy is on a mission. 10 HP. And the dream so far, Seaside Plant though, already in order here for Team Adroit.
Could not be any closer. 3v3 with a health advantage coming in for Adroit thus far. We are setting our post plan.
Oh my, that Lear gonna get caught out still. Ripper is just playing it clutch again here, Vim. The post plant setup, as you said, not gonna be enough for the attack. Jakama trying to get a bust down on. He misses against the Phoenix. It will get the takedown on the Ripper though. But my oh my, this is the ride that we are looking for. This is the kind of game that we are looking for. And we are happy to know that it feels like that the internet issues on both sides have been fixed because of our longer break. And we are gonna be giving you guys a Game 3 that this series deserves.
Definitely so. And we've seen time and again how lethal Beats and Ripper can be in those pistol rounds. Despite having only a classic, Beats has been absolutely lethal. So we are seeing some ghosts and a couple Spectre buys. Make that 3 Spectre buys for the side of the winner of the pistol round, which is Retaliate. And we'll see.
I'm all about that armor, right, Vim? When you are the winner from that first round, you just get yourself a little more tanky and make sure you can go from there. But Adroit has the tendency to go for the force buy and just basically face check their opponents with all the guns in the world. We hear the Bulldog right now going for the shots there. Gador's in the meantime waiting for smoke to dissipate. And who can get the flick on who first? This is anticipation killing me, Vyminal. And it seems like Gador is going onto the inside. When is this smoke gonna go away? There we go with the headshot on Dispenser will fall down so close, but no cigar for the Reyna.
We've seen Dispenser do that same strategy previously on the same map yesterday. As Adroit Humi gets a pick off Worship.
Yeah, he even gets 2 with that Bulldog. So Adroit really bringing in the hurts no matter what. It really feels like it's that kind of match that there will be a contest in this game. And Adroit is just looking for a few picks here and there. It's the same case why they went for the fourth buy in the first place. Looking at Haven, it's just difficult, right? When you're down 1 man rotating onto 3 sites.
But again, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to save the second round. You can go force, which is what Adroit has been doing throughout the entire series thus far. It's been working pretty well for them.
It goes to show that Adroit is just so smart and when to go for the force, when to go for the normal eco, and when to just risk it all to begin with. Jakama though spraying on down up on Heaven, And it seems like it's not going to be enough to get that kill on the river, but Humi instead goes up to the first fire and makes it happen. 4 on the board for Humi, really making sure that this rifle is one not to be trifled with. Adroit now getting on back, and who thinks that it's a free win from the first round to the second? Adroit says no, we are all tied up into the third round.
Now, all of a sudden, economic advantage going to the side of Adroit, looking really good with that full armor. The tides have turned. But, beats again on that classic. And y'all know how much I love that gun. Best gun.
We love it.
Stinger is the second best gun.
So what's the third?
Third best gun, Phantom.
Oh, okay. That's
Spencer.
a pretty normie pick. But the
Taking
Spencer,
down beats.
he at least makes you proud there, Bim. And Borkum deciding to push forward here. Adroit, no fear here. They feel like they have a gun advantage, and they see the members of the side of Retaliate going for the utility there. And Eden, though, is a tap god. This guy goes on the phone, gets hits on, and he is a rhythm man to begin with. But Eden right now can't line it up against Humi. He has gotten 2 so far, though. That's very commendable from him. Ripper, though, has been pretty tough so far. Can he do it? Not gonna happen. Chikama saves the day, and they will get a little bit of money with that spike plant. No, never mind. They just ignore it and get something else instead.
That was a pretty good econ round, thanks to Eden playing Tap Tap Revolution right there for Retaliate. That was
yeah, go ahead.
I don't know.
I'm more of a revenge guy. I'm a
Tap Tap Revenge.
Tap Tap Revenge. Old school cool right there. That is when you would flex your iPhone 1.
Yeah,
Tap
that
Tap
was
Revenge.
good times.
Oh my god.
Simpler
Cut
times.
the rope, maybe. The air hockey game. That was the
That was
good
something
there.
else. Yeah.
That was, this is Valorant though, so you shoot people. That's kind of how it goes, Mr. Bim. But speaking of shooting, Worship is going to be holding on to C-Long here with the operator again. Sage, so throwing down that Snore Orb on to the top side, and he does see his opponent, but unfortunately for him, we're hitting that reload and the bunny hop away. Bunny hopping, it's not just a skill for fun. It's always it to get the hell out of there quickly.
You can see Worship on that operator, essentially locking down C-Site. Dispenser not getting a pick off that lurk, but it looks like to be a take with the spike coming in from short. And this is usually the play. You see the spike coming in through short because the Sage has to wall CT entrance.
Exactly.
We'll see that happen.
Yeah, get rid of the defense connection right there, and Ripper and the defense are trading blows for 1 apiece. Now, I gotta say here for the side of Team Adroit, as Dispenser gets 1 more, that split stack onto A is something they know how to execute on. But there's 2 strategies on Haven, if I remember correctly, is the split stack A, as well as the long contest C. Those are really what their bread and butter for good reason, and they're executing yet again to the best degree.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about those lineup mollies on C-side as well from 4Chem. But Jesse Dash gets a pick off Worship, and it's going to be Beats versus the World.
Can he actually get the song of his people here? Will we get the revolution on as well? He's right now trying to survive, but Borkum gonna push forward instead to get that takedown. And Adroit's playbook getting exposed, but we already know how well they can play onto Haven. We see a lot of their A and C takes. He's more like, Dispenser push forward, and I guess that works. Let's just go for it. And it really just goes to show Adroit flexible, knowing the strats, and willing to go with the tides.
Absolutely. And things are looking pretty good for Adroit. 3-1 on the scoreline. Momentum heavily in favor of Adroit, with Econ round coming in to round 5.
Going out.
But in any case, Godoers gonna be looking to do or die right now. And Retaliate is having not the best defense this time compared to their first game and their second. But we already know that they can be amazing. And we'll see right now if Godoers can do here, or will he die against the Cypher. All about getting the dark cover to try and do something out. And really smart play here from Godoers, in all honesty. And right now he's getting misinformation, but the bigger gun there from Jakama gets rid of the Omen in the first place. Bash though backing on now. Has the operator and had gets left up onto the Phoenix, but he still wins out. 1 out. Beats and Eden both go down. The Cypher right now going for the 4v1, and Ripper getting torn apart by bullets. This is now looking pretty dire here for the side of Retaliate, because Adroit is back with a vengeance.
I'd like to commend what Godoers and crew tried to pull off in that previous econ round for them. You know, it's very
this is the
typical
nice
nowadays,
goes here.
especially in high tier games, that you
That goes
throw a slow orb onto window and then, you know, smoke it out and then push out onto grass. But what they did there was basically 3-stack window
Here.
and go straight to spawn. They didn't really push out to grass. That's really creative, I think, and could have worked well, given the fact that, you know, but of course, you know, they're Adroit, so.
They are really good as we said, but here we go right now with trades abound. 2 for 2. Hunter Fury there from whom he cleaned up the last one. And again, this is something we've noted from the get-go. An amazing stage on the side of Adroit. Gets the res every single time, even though no splash as well. He gets the res on, but he will go down to the hand of Dispenser, whom he getting 3 so far. And now it is Beats versus the world, but as I've said before, this guy is the one who can clutch it out. Can he get the shot though? Jakama up on top. And I gotta say for Beats, he's lining up the headshot, but he's shooting the foot of the Cypher there.
Yeah, that was pretty cheeky. You know, you stand up on top of the box, even if your opponent's crosshair is at head level, he's like, oh, why is he, you know, basically as tall as Yao Ming, you know?
Oh my, well, a twin tower perhaps right there, and it really just goes to show that he is looking pretty large, in charge, and ready to go to do anything he can. But Humi, this is the pop-up game that we have been waiting for from the start of Adroit. He was really excited to be the one on the top frag. In addition, people like Dispenser, Borkum, and Vash feeling the operator. He's
Right.
kind of more on the middle side right now, but there are these games where Humi takes complete control, and it feels like it's just one of them so far here, Vim.
Yeah. So you see here that Adroit is playing pretty spread out. They're trying to play for picks, trying to identify, okay, do they have an operator on one side of the map, trying to play around it. I think a viable strategy here, and it's nighttime for Retaliate to go double operators. I think they have to play a bit more standard. Adroit is playing a lot of standard takes, you know, A split, garage split. You know, right now they're going to take garage control, it seems.
Prepare for hellfire!
Or both try to start things off with the garage pick here and now. And here we go with from the shadows already. Big part going for a few shots here and there, but Vash with long control. And he is a long man making it happen. Here we go with a showstopper and Worship only cleaning up Chikama. What's a way to go there? The Sova survives. And Adroit right now has just gotten utter dominance so far here, Vin. But though, trying to do something, and he has been the one touted to be the hero here of Retaliate. But the retaliation of Retaliate here hasn't been the best so far on map number 3. And it just goes to show when Adroit is back and they are ready to go, they are back with the vengeance. And this is the garage pick. Kumi again. This man knows no introductions. Who are you?
Right.
Who is me? He is amazing, that's for sure.
For whom the belt tolls, Ghidorahs, and Humi is the executioner so far. 13 frags on the board, only 2 deaths. Such a high caliber game. Humi right now is definitely on fire, as is the rest of Adroit. 6-1 scoreline. Absolute domination we've been seeing so far. And I'm sure they're just as comfortable on the second half later on, but that remains to be seen. Humi trying to get info with that Silver drone.
It's now, let's go in Hoots, but unfortunately on Haven it is daytime, so maybe it will get hit off immediately by the stage there. But I gotta say, Vim, that, you know, this is shades of yesterday's kind of performance from Adroit. They're just looking really dominant, especially on a map like Haven. But Retaliate is no slouch. Getting a map away from Adroit is already a feat for a debuting team. So we'll find out if they can make this defense hold so far. Garage stay here inside of the board, but Kama doesn't care. Ripper though the tap got himself as well. Beats doing the same old thing. And this is what I love about Retaliate. They can make the sheriff work. Beats has gotten 2 so far. And advantage is in favor of the defense here, Vim, but Spike gonna get planted on C sites.
Despite having only sheriffs, Eden takes out Dispenser completely blindsided. Now they can just pick up guns and then take out Jesse Vash here.
Oh no, Jesse Vash saying that's not gonna happen. Gets the stick out there. Flash gonna be into play, but unfortunately can't get the anticipation shot. And that is Retaliate finally striking on back. If we see Adroit as the new hope there from the start of the beta of Valorant, this is gonna be the community striking back. Episode 5 with Beats and Co looking to do something. But the question is, what is the end here? Will we get the return of Adroit coming in to get to the grand finals, or will it be Retaliate making it the ending for the Empire? It doesn't mean that they're the bad guys. They have been amazing, that's for sure here, Vim. And as we said, it's a mismatch of all of these old crews working together to just be the best that there can be. But here we go now, Operator in the hands of Beats, and 6-2 our scoreline, Detroit with a 4-round advantage.
We're seeing that mid-aggression strategy once
Joke's
more.
over! You're dead!
But they chose not to push out. Very interesting. Perhaps just delaying, expecting a mid-windows contestation. It appears that the spike is at C long, but they are anticipating sort of an A take. Spencer and Jesse Vash now rotating to A.
Oh, it seems like they did try to get a little bit of a peek there on C sites, but it's more of that A split approach yet again. Short already in favor. Bash making some noise, trying to pretend that they're going to be pushing into the garage instead, looking for the wall bang there, and then but those footsteps going to be very important here, Vim, and Adroit's waiting for the cue to go.
Pretty ballsy play. Breaking garage doors alone, holding that spike. Pretty ballsy play from Jesse Vash. Also alone going to mid, showing presence. Wow, going for that fake execute.
He's doing it. He's going all at it alone, but Jesse Vash will go down. 1-for-1 trade right there. Neural Tef into play though. And Vash had the intel, unfortunately, just didn't get the angle. And now Adroit gonna be looking to get retribution here and get the spike plant. But so far, so good for the side of the defense here, and it really just goes to show that Retaliate can do something about this. But unfortunately for Worship, he gets caught out by Borkham there again here, Vim, and it's now time to get the push through the smoke. Curveball into play, make that 1 and 2. He throws it on the left side, but Adroit is just sitting down below, under tower, under cover. Adroit is alive with a 5-round advantage.
I mean, I was expecting that round to go for Retaliate because Borkham no longer had smokes, and basically Ripper had that tower control. So they all went 3 under tower, which is known to be a dead spot defending post play. But we haven't really seen like 3 agents. All 3 agents just holding under tower. You expect them to be a long or short, you know, hiding right behind the defense entrance. But no, very unexpected.
I'd say they're like bowling pins right there, as Humi gets a 7-10 split and cleans up Gadores immediately. This is finally Adroit getting their playstyle, they're getting back their momentum, and it really feels like it's just their Achilles heel has to be their slower start. Ripper is just pretty clutch there. The Cypher holds on to A, beats back Adroit, but Dispenser opening up C site instead. But can Retaliate hold here? That's the question. They have 1 on each site, and they can actually get this 1v1 on here, Vim. They are very renowned to do this coming into this map.
Yep. Right now, they have to play the info game. They cannot afford to commit to one side and play retake because the Sage is still up. Jesse Vash is still there. Borkham is still there. They can easily defend post plant and set up an effective defense. So they have to anticipate the commit from Adroit. They only have 40 seconds on the clock. The moment they show presence, they are going to commit.
Yeah, and Dispenser is the one looking to prove himself here. Him being on the arena has been a godsend for the side of Adroit, and the Resurrection to add things up on the favor of the attack. Lineup though not going to be correct, as we will have the Cypher going over to the high ground instead. Ripper though waiting out this recon dart, doesn't want to get hit by those pulses, and it's now time to get on it again. But Vash, this guy is no chill whatsoever. He's on the south side by the short angle, and it seems like here for the side of the defense of Retaliate, it's not yeah, there's nothing they can do so far. They're stacked onto the connector to the defense, and with the fact that the operator is there, it's just too much to handle. So Vim, what's the plan right now for Retaliate? A while ago on the first map, I asked you what was Retaliate doing right. This time, what is Adroit doing right on their attack? Did the 2 maps really help them to learn their rhythm?
Perhaps. I mean, that's what Adroit is really, really good at doing. They're good at reading the enemy and adapting to their playstyle. They're able to shut down the aggression of Retaliate. You know, shifting gears between turning it up to 11 and then playing really defensive and passive, even on the offense. Now, I think what Retaliate should be doing should definitely keep Cypher on A, because A is pretty much the hardest to retake. But perhaps, the Raze could be in doubling up on A as well. We want Raze to stop the most hardest to defend the push, because those paint shells, they're really, really good zoning tools.
If it lands under your feet, you're pretty much dead.
Yeah.
That's just what the race is all about. And who needs CC in a way when you can do damage? And that's what the race is all about. Bash though, short the in-hand, very dangerous. Eden does get the peak though and gets rid of Humi there. But I just want to say one thing. I only noticed this now, Vim, that if you press tab, you can actually see the ping of the people now. So thank you,
Actually,
Ryan.
yeah.
I'm so proud.
Actually,
I'm so happy about that one. But Borkum getting on the board there. Another pick off onto the garage. And Adroit is just like, we are the basement dwellers here. We are the ones happy to stay onto the inside. Community quarantine, no worries. We're good to go. And it really just goes to show here for Adroit, they're very confident in how their push works and what sides they can take.
Right. So they're trying to go for a B execute. We are expecting a plant for window. Very interestingly enough, we have Raze and Cypher going for that flank. On second thoughts, actually, Worship is going through garage.
And Gadowers, paranoia in full effect. And that is just fear instilled truly. Vasto gonna be hiding on the side. There we go with the dark cover set on up. Window from Ripper. And what an angle here from the side of Retaliate.
Much needed round win for Retaliate. Maybe, just maybe, we can make this a 4-8. And that sets him up for a pretty good attack phase.
This is a nice spot.
And I think the only way they can counteract the strategy of Adroit is to flank. Exactly what they did there. Because Adroit has been playing out pretty default strategies. They've been going for A split, go for garage split. Now they did a B take, plan for window. Very default strategies. And you can easily counter that by flanking.
Yep. And like that big window where the attack side comes from, that's the best thing to defend from when you are going for the post plant B. But Beats gets a little bit of a love tap there onto the Spencer, forcing the stage to give that heal on. It's a really good shot from Beats. Unfortunately, it isn't the kill. And here we go with the Hunter Fury lining it up. Can Beats run on the way in time? He dodges the second shot, and it feels like it's a limbo rock waiting to happen. Eden though and Jakama getting one apiece. Here comes the hot hands right now, pushing forward into the garage. Operator in his clutch, but Adroit is set up on the sites already. And even though Retaliate is down by a 5, if anyone can do it against Adroit, it has to
It'd
be
be
them.
Retaliate.
They've already proven it. They've proven it by getting one map over. And Ripper is the clutch guy that we have been waiting for. He has gotten 2 so far. Here comes Worship as well. And this is now Retaliate bringing it back. And I just gotta commend this Cypher. He holds a well, and even if he gets out of his territory, he's comfortable to get through every single time.
That was a beautiful flank from Ripper. It took them quite a few rounds to figure out the most effective pathways to flank and counteract Adroit's default pushes, but they did get a read on it. It paid off really well. Coming into the second half, 4-8. I'm pretty curious to see how Retaliate is gonna play this out. Because if Adroit definitely has some default defense strategies, if there's any team that you can count on to do something unorthodox, I think it's going to be Retaliate from what we've seen in the past couple of maps so far.
Gotta say, I gotta agree with you there, Vim. And the thing about Retaliate is they haven't really had the best attacks per se. So it's really do or die. It's their big test. But if we've seen Adroit learn from the past 2 maps, maybe Retaliate can do the same. Because I would say, after all is said and done, the thing Adroit only has over Retaliate has to be experience playing as a team. Because you can see that in their rotates, you can see that in their coordination, in their executes. But mechanically, this has to be Retaliate up to par against a team like this. They get the taps on, they get the kills, and they can be impressed. There we go. Look at that. Down. Oh my god, Jesse Bash! Jesse Bash! connected! Okay, Vim, when you corner Bash, it's like he is a shrieking doll, and immediately the horde comes, and that is Adroit going to their
Okay.
stage, making sure that he is safe and sound.
Perhaps a bit too greedy from the side of Retaliate right there. 4 people staring at the same angle, trying to take out one guy. Then allows for the rest of Adroit to basically blindside them from multiple angles. They could have trusted one member. All it took was one guy. Vash was pretty much at 70% HP. It could have been the entry frag taking care of that. But unfortunately, that happens.
I mean, if you remember what happened on Bind where Vash just got the ace, I wouldn't be surprised at why they did that. But as we said before, when Vash is the one cornered, it really feels like the rest of the flock are coming on through. But Vash going down to a more normal firefight, so he will go down. Dispenser gets the flick onto the Ripper, gets that takedown there. And it's a 2-man advantage right now for the defense, because Adroit is... It feels like they're even better when they're the ones on the defensive side. So it really just goes to show they're good at holding angles. They're good at pushing out of nowhere. And right now, it's Dispenser playing his own kind of game. Eden's trying to hold there, not going to happen. And victory here for Adroit. They are just 3 away to move into the grand finals and be in the money for our Go to Glory Cup.
There's something about Adroit that they really understand how to play the game in the sense of taking map real estate away from the offense. When you're on a defense phase, yes, you have to wait for the enemy to push. Yes, that's the burden is on the offensive team. But your responsibility on defense is not to be too passive. You have to take map control away from the
Exactly. Oh my god, though. That's not how you want to do it there, Vim. Because Dispenser and Bash going for the contest and getting taken down. Humi, though, he has been a man on a mission, and he has been the one to watch out for. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. The Silva keeping an eye out and sees the raise there. Worship not peeking onto the short angle, and that's going to be goodbye from the garage there. And Adroit, they are relying on Humi right now to do all you can more. This has been his show, but here we go with the attack going on over again. Here comes Eden with the takedown, looking for a little bit of the spike plant, but the defense is coming on through from their spawn. And here we go right now with the time ticking for post plants.
Now they are, I think, trying to wait for the wall to soften up, or perhaps get that pixel peek. Very cheeky from Borkham. Now, a 2v2 situation definitely doable.
Eden just blows up in his face, basically. But here we go, Borkham using the wall for cover. 1 versus 2, 1v1. But he peeks on the left side, beats with the proper psychology there. And he just waited for his opponent to have that little reprieve to look somewhere else. Didn't know where he was coming from. Beats with the 9-dimensional chess play right there. But in all honesty, simple psychology working out really well for an amazing kind of fragger there.
Yep. Now we're seeing equal firepower on both sides. That could have been the momentum shift that Retaliate has been waiting for. And now they do have Sage Resurrection online for the side of Retaliate. This could stack up in terms of momentum.
Yeah, and it seems like the Retaliate gonna go for the brute force method here. They do want to stack up onto the B side, as you have been saying, and it's now time to use that dark cover to the best degree. Where will the wall come from? Oh my, it's a molly from the right side, and it really just goes to show that the Brimstone takes some really good angles, because that is just Borkham knowing how to back it and trick his opponent, to say the least. Let's watch out what the wall is gonna be up to. Did Borkham get the big brain play? Here comes Humi, though. Misses the first shot, but still gets a tap on. And they know me for my 1 taps if you don't catch that initial shot. And this is going to be the Silva right now, getting it done back and holding on to B really well. Dispenser again, disengaging from the front lines back into C sites.
Very questionable play from Beats. Going for the entry to B site, walking through the smoke alone without a shield. And that closes around. Borkham gets a pick on Ripper. Just questionable play from Retaliate right there, but they can still bounce back from this. I think they're gonna have to go for a force buy, or perhaps play for match point.
Yeah,
My
One of the
ultimate
two.
is
One of the
good.
two will be defining their economy,
someone
and it
gets
seems like it will be the eco here and basically be on the cusp every single time. But I commend
Right.
what Retaliate tried to do there. They're feeling very confident. They're feeling like, okay, we can take a straight fight. But as soon as Borg comes back that shot, everything went Ori. He's like, where's the brimstone? I thought we saw on the left side. Why is there the molly on the right side? That kind of thing. And just those small plays that for Adroit that add up, that's where it truly counts. But an A-Stack moving over to short. The question is, though, Jakama, the lineup god himself, can he actually make things happen? Rez online here for the attack. Jakama pushing forward. And Japan, he gets in behind. He gets three. He is literally behind Emily Lights. He pretends to be one of the crowd, one of the crew. It's like, don't worry, guys, I'm part of your team. And it's just a traitor waiting to happen, and trouble and terrorists down. But Gadors, as well as the Phoenix going for the push, beats the wind that run it back. And with beating Gadors alive, this is the perfect duo to get a clutch on. But the Spencer is waiting, playing patience this time. Beautiful angle. And there we go with the defuse already. Gadors has to clutch on in and make this happen. The Spencer is there keeping an eye out. And even though that was a really good chance there from Retaliates, Adroit did two good things there, Vim. One is allow the Spencer to get in position, and two, let Jakama play for the other team.
That corner. If you have the trigger discipline, I swear, man, I have clutched out so many rounds from playing that corner. And it's just, these top tier teams know that. And they use that very well. They have the top tier trigger discipline. It's crazy how much you can chain kills from that corner. It's kind of crazy.
I know I've seen that clip many times with different music on your side, and it really goes to show. I'm glad that our teams have watched your highlight videos, Mr. Vyminal. God,
it's pretty awesome.
Oh, it's pretty awesome. But we have to get into the game because Adroit is already up by one. 4 versus 3 immediately. There we go with the res onto the Spencer, and I wouldn't be surprised if Adroit decides, oh no, the hot hand is there, and Beats will get that kill. But here comes the showstopper right now. Doesn't get anything. Seems like it isn't the case. Worship tried to blow up Garage. There we go with the patience again. But this is just a quick little guard staying on over.
Worship!
Of the guard, but Worship is making me pray. But Jakama is still there. Can the old guard still be here? It's 2 seconds to case, and Jesse Bash with the operator to seal the deal. It is absolutely poetic here for Adroit. They looked a little lost at the start, but when in doubt, read from the Gospel of Adroit, because they will make you watch over them and get the 2-1 win to move into the grand finals.
Phenomenal performance from Adroit, and of course Retaliate. You cannot count that out. They were absolutely incredible. I just wanted to read a comment from chat. That was really funny. You are a Boulder, but I am Jesse. It's Jesse Bash closing out that round. Incredible performance from all members of each team. These two teams are definitely teams to watch for tournaments to come in the grassroots scene, in the professional scene, and possibly beyond in the region.
I agree. And an amazing debut for Retaliate. If they just had more time to practice as a team, wouldn't be surprised if this went the other way. But it really just goes to show the Adroit playstyle. That start really is where they're a little finicky. But they are not that kind of team to get off by it, get tilted by it. They bounce back, and we saw it already on Ascent. You saw that lead from Team Retaliate. Ascent could have been their map, because in the end, they're only down by 3. On Bind, feeling very confident, good to go. On Haven, that is the Adroit show that we have been expecting. You looked at that scoreboard, 4 of them up on top. That really just goes to show how dominant they can be. And for Adroits, it's pretty much another day at the office. All the compliments aside, it's what we expect. They have been trying to defend their crown here in Valorant PH, and getting to the grand finals is another way to go at it. But let's talk about Retaliate, because these guys deserve all the kudos in the
world. All the praise.
I gotta ask you first. I'll let you go first. What can you say about them? Any defining factors also?
So let's start off with what we know about Retaliate. They are an amalgamation of different teams with a really long line of professional history. You got Gadors, you got Ripper, you got Beats. I believe Ripper and Beats are from Empowered Youth, who have done incredible things in previous Valorant PH tournaments during the Sick Club Invitational. Also, you have AKG Worship, who was one of the prominent members of Another Nights Gaming. And of course, you have Ching the God, who is one of our first Radiants and one of the very few Radiants in the region. For those of you watching, you do understand what Radiant means, right? There are only about 20 to 120 players per region that are Radiant rank. It just goes to show, like, the amount of talent in Retaliate is absolutely incredible, and they show that. Like on the first map, Ascent, I was just completely blown away. I don't know about Daks, but I was mind blown, speechless by the end of the map.
I saw your face. I saw your face after the game, and before we went into camps, and you were like,
Yep.
you were that emoji right there.
Yeah. So, bright things coming for Retaliate, definitely, and I'm really stoked to see them in the future.
Exactly. No disband incoming. This is the team to watch out for. And I wouldn't be surprised to put them in my top 5. At the very least in my top 10, and I'm already going for top 5.
Top 5.
Match, this is a team to watch out for. And if they just get more experience as a team, more victories under their belts, wouldn't be surprised if they would be in the top 3, the top 2. And if they can beat Adroit, then you already know who can be the new kings. But this really just goes to show that this is that part of Valorant, that there are these teams that come together as one and make a super team right there. Kudos to the NBA for that kind of thing. But it really feels like Retaliate is one of those teams in the making. And all they need right now is literally a little bit of glue, and they can mesh together. I love what they have done in that whole series. I cannot forget all the Omen played right there, all the duels played right there, and just the pop of potential from their Sentinels. No matter what role, you can die no matter what. But, if we are going to be looking to criticize them in a way, it's actually the same thing for Adroit. That attack is where they should be focusing their efforts for both sides, in all honesty. Because defense-wise, they're both really amazing. So, if they both want to improve, there's always room to improve. Adroit and Retaliate, keep an eye out on that. And, we will find out if Adroit can defend that crown. But kudos to Retaliate, a top 3-4 hit finish right there, reaching into the semifinals. And as I said, I wouldn't be surprised to see them into a later tournament doing even better. But it is now time to be getting into our second semifinal. But before we go, guys, don't forget that we have a giveaway in order. First things first, we do have these amazing mice brought to you by SteelSeries. The Rival 3 still have 2 pieces up for grabs during this day. And hey, if you want to have that, just head on over to the Facebook stream at our Valorant PH page. You want to be using that hashtags for your share, and we will be able to pick you from there. On the plus side, though, we also have the amazing Arcus ones, not for giveaways, but for our prizes in our Grand Champions. So Adroit can be that team to get that amazing headset. And I tried it on. It was very comfy. It was like, so soft. And it really
sounds good.
So good. Yeah. I want to use it for any kind of console game for me, because I love setting up far away from when I play on a console and having
laying back, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I just like make the chair go woo.
I remember that PewDiePie meme, the meme. Like, can you do this? And,
Can you do that? Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But yes, there you go. Shout outs to SteelSeries going for glory here. And we have just witnessed an amazing esports battle between our two teams. So it really just goes to show that #1 esports brand per se, having the most champions. It's on the box, guys. I read it's like, ooh, what are these stats? And they say it themselves. Their stuff doesn't make you better, but if you are a great player, they will make you better. It's not that, okay, if you don't have the skill, you still won't have it. It's up to you, but we will make it a lot easier, and we will give you the tools that you need, which is perfect for how life works. And speaking of life right now, we still have a second semifinal, ladies and gentlemen. Nope, Mr. Vyminal, we're not done yet. You think that was the grand finals? No, sir.
Nope.
We got Nyquits versus Samurais, and we'll be talking about that one later on. But we will be taking a break, get a little bit of a reprieve, get our teams ready to go. And this has been the SteelSeries Go for Glory Cup Day 2, first semifinal done and dusted. Our second one coming your way very soon. We'll be right back. Stay tuned and stick around.